Yeah. Birdman, that's funny, man. I forgot to turn off the light. Well, Shelton do it when he walks in.
No, I'll go ahead and do it.
Okay, cool. Appreciate it. Yeah, we are on white people time today, bro. We
That's
are.
funny.
We are. We're definitely. It's. I'm making an effort to make sure all the shows start on time. I think most of the kinks have been worked out, so we're good to go. Shelton will be arriving probably in about 10, 15 minutes. But we're gonna go ahead and kick things off, get started without him. And Manny may actually come through. So MAGA Manny may be joining us.
MAGA Manny.
Is that what they call him?
That's what they
call
called
him in
it,
the
bro.
streets, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yep.
Double M.
Damn.
So let's get started. This is the place where sports experience collide dead in sports. I'm your host, Kenneth B. Inch. Joining me on the show, we have Nick.
What's going on? What's happening?
Spike Lou.
What up, though?
And as I mentioned earlier, Shelton will be with us soon, and Manning may come through. There was a thing where I was like, no filter, no agendas, but we have agendas.
We all have agendas, bro.
So I'm taking that out. We definitely got some fucking agendas.
Yeah.
I saw agendas over the weekend of the playoffs.
Ooh, boy.
So I was like,
some agendas were being driven home.
Yeah. So, but no filter. That still applies. No
That's
filter,
right.
man.
That's why we haven't got the big bucks just
Yep.
yet. They don't want to. The advertisers scared, kid.
Yep. I have a pro-black agenda for the most part. So, but you guys get what we're saying when we were saying that. But yeah, man. But at the end of the day, man, we just sitting around talking sports like we normally would. Everybody just get a chance to peek into that. And yeah, it was a wild weekend, man. A lot of sports happening.
The best weekend in football.
Football and yeah, so we definitely don't want to hold you guys up. Where do you want to start, brother?
Let's go to LA. I think LA is a great place to start with because I think what happened this is the first football episode, y'all. Ain't shit happened in basketball. I double checked. I looked under the rock and everything. It wasn't shit under there.
LeBron had 48 last night. That's it.
Ain't shit happened in basketball, y'all. And a losing team, right?
No. Well,
They won.
They have a losing record.
Yeah, okay. A losing team.
But hey, I will say this. He said, man, I'm tired of losing. This man been playing crazy ever since. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's LeBron. He got to. He ain't got shit else to do.
He was trying to take it easy, but AD was like, nah, I'm chilling, bro.
Anyway, he was like, I ain't gonna be available.
We're gonna have to have a conversation about LeBron's tenure in LA, by the way. Once we get to the basketball.
Where they win a ring?
Where if you take out that year with the ring, this shit ball.
Subtracting the championship.
Subtracting the pandemic, yes.
Okay.
Where it changed everybody's lives.
Subtracting the whole championship.
But let's start in LA. And I'm sure Sheldon's gonna come in and chime in. But let me ask y'all just off rip. Did y'all watch that full game or did y'all watch half of it?
I watched the whole game.
I watched the whole game.
Was that the craziest game you ever seen in the playoffs?
It was boring. Fortunately, I had work, so I was sitting there just working, going through emails and doing shit, blah blah blah. So I was like, I'm gonna just sit here and watch this game. I'm gonna just work right here and just watch the game. Normally, I like to record the game and just watch it after because I hate the fucking commercials.
Yeah.
So I watched the Bengals Ravens game like that. So I caught up. It was a weird game. I kept waiting for something to happen and it never happened. And yeah, that was that. But yeah, it was a little odd, especially the way that both teams started out.
Because that was like the worst half of football I've seen from either team in like a playoff game.
It reminded me of, and I tried to say this in the chat, but I don't think I said it. I worded it the wrong way. I don't think people got what I was saying. When Buffalo, it may have been their first Super Bowl, was second, but they were playing the Oilers, and Jim Kelly got hurt, and they went down 31-3. And that, other than that game, this would be the craziest one that I've seen when Buffalo came back from 31-3 against the Oilers to win and go on to the Super Bowl.
What up, bro?
So Sheldon, as you join us, we just got started. We're about to talk about this.
You sure? Okay.
We're talking about this.
I wasn't even joking. I was just trying
the
to
Jaguars Chargers game. And I'll shoot the question to you first. Did the Jaguars win that game or did the Chargers lose that game?
Jaguars won that game. You had to play a perfect second half. So even if the Chargers did everything they could to give it away, you still had to earn the victory, and they did it.
I don't know. I think the Chargers kind of gave that away.
I mean, they choked, but you still had to be perfect.
Don't get me. Jaguars did that thing. However, it goes to what we talk about when we talk about that Patriots versus Falcons Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, and Staley has had consistent problems with this. You got to know how to manage the clock as an NFL head coach. If I'm up by that much, they were snapping the ball with like 17 seconds left on the clock. You don't do that when you up by that much. You let it run all the way down. Like Ken said, it was a boring game. You're supposed to make it even more boring. You got to suck all the air out of the game, pause, and make it really, really slow.
I think I realized that you were not talking about the Bucs game last night, were you? Got it. Oh, I don't know what I heard.
We're going to get to that game.
You heard him say LA, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was the LA confused me, and I heard, and I remember the whole Raiders stuff. Okay.
You're talking about Sunshine.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think the Jaguars did a great job at coming back, and Trevor Lawrence did a hell of a job. However, man, it's Staley being Staley. Like, it was a bad coaching job.
It was bad coaching job on both sides.
I mean,
because
not on both sides.
niggas gonna shoot
Jaguars, though.
Niggas gonna shoot Doug Peterson a lot of bail.
He deserves it.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
he does.
He deserves the credit for the win. I'll give you that.
He deserved the credit.
But he don't deserve. He's not blunt. Like, obviously, what's his name? Staley is gonna get the brunt under the force. Should have got fired. He only fired his the QB coach and the OC.
Yeah.
When it really should have been him, but. I digress.
He's supposed to be a defensive coach.
He did his job.
He calls the defensive plays.
He did his job on defense.
Who?
Staley.
Stop.
Bruh, they caused
34 unanswered points.
I give you that. They caused
Like,
five.
what?
They caused 5 turnovers, bro, in the first half.
That
That game should have never been that close.
But if the game was played in just a half, then we could.
No, because y'all not talking about the nigga who I want y'all to talk about.
Who? Sunshine?
No, that ain't Sunshine, because this ain't nigga. Ain't no Sean where he going. We talking about Justin Herbert.
Oh, okay.
3 points in the second half.
Right. Here's
3 points in the second half.
I mean, what you want him to do, though?
What you mean? What I want him to do? This supposed to be Justin fucking Herbert, bro. And I came here early this season. I was like, bro, something is off with this team. I don't know what to call it, because Herbert put up stats, but he don't do shit. I told y'all he ain't a winner. I was shocked because we all, for most of us, picked that game. I gotta look who didn't, but I know most of us picked that game. Oh yeah, you picked the Jaguars. Everybody else picked the Chargers. It was because off of talent alone and based off of where we see the Chargers at in their progress of rebuilding, right? Mm-hmm. Based off of where we see Jacksonville in their progress. Jacksonville barely got into that playoff game, right? Mm-hmm. Tennessee could have easily been in there if it wasn't for Joshua Dobbs' turnover.
Right.
So it's like, all right, Jacksonville here, whatever the fuck, they hosting the game based off the NFL rules. But Herbert should win that game.
I think it's Staley, bro.
Yeah.
I think it's Staley, and it kind of feels like when you look at that team, they really have no life. Mm-hmm. And you look at him on the sideline, he just looked dull as shit.
Yeah.
And I think it's a mix of both in terms of winning, who won it, or did the Chargers lose it. Staley did a great job, but that defense turned the fuck up, bro.
Asante Samuel Jr., bro, breakout game.
Yeah, the Jaguars defense. The Jaguars defense turned up. But if we really evaluate or analyze that game, when you look at that first half, the Chargers really didn't do shit to be up by 27.
On offense, right?
Yep. And
right.
That was the issue.
And that's my thing. You said Brandon Staley is a defensive guy. Mm-hmm. Defensively, that first half, you would think that Brandon Staley was Bill Belichick, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he did his job. But they was up 27-0.
Now your job is the whole game.
No, but I'm saying at that point in the game, he did his job. It's 20, like he did, like you were surprised. I was surprised at that game.
Trevor Lawrence played like shit.
He did, but to me, I credit the defense for making them play like shit.
They did.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
so it's like at that first half when they was up 27-0, it's like, oh shit, Brandon Staley may have gotten the shit together, right?
One half.
Yeah, because they said they were playing the routes differently.
Yeah,
in this game in the first half.
they messed him up. They
were coming down shorter.
Yeah, everything
because
short.
the last
he
game
couldn't hit on his reads, and he was confused.
Exactly.
But what
And-
makes Belichick great though is the adjustments.
Right.
I did it. I did it the first half.
That's
I
it.
know you're gonna make an adjustment, and I got something for the adjustment too.
Yes.
That's what time and time again when we complain about Staley. That's what we complain about.
Correct.
Well, that goes to
Losing
Peterson.
games at the end of the
That's why I
game
give
in the
Peterson credit.
second half. They build up these victories, or they doing dumb stuff with their personnel. Like it's
And that's my thing. My issue with Peterson that first, because that's why I said it's flipped. Staley got the praise first half. Peterson got criticized first half. Staley got criticized second half. And the game, Peterson got
Lawrence
praised.
got criticized first half more than Peterson.
yeah, he did.
No,
He did.
I'm saying Peterson. I'm saying Lawrence got criticized, of course. But in the back of my mind, it's Peterson because it's like, bro, after that third turnover, at the third interception, we running that damn ball. I ain't about to let this motherfucker just keep throwing picks. You know what I'm saying? Like 5 turnovers it was 5 turnovers in total in the game, but it was 4 in the first half, right?
That's
Four,
first half,
yeah,
yeah.
4 interceptions, bro.
So it's like,
And
bro,
then
at one
muff
point in time,
punt.
like, all right, bro, we got to pound the rock because
Nah.
this nigga clearly don't got it.
That's your
Well, that's-
franchise QB.
Yeah, that's not. And
I
that's
know,
not
but
their,
you
First
protect the
playoff
QB.
game.
but that's
Nah,
not their
we
game
got-
plan,
yeah,
and
we
they don't
gotta-
have that type of running back. So-
ETN had over 100
Bro,
yards at the end of the game.
Bro,
But
if
he's not
you
a
throw
pounder.
6 interceptions, we got to live or die with it. Like I got to keep.
If they
throwing
would
the
have
ball.
followed your game plan, they wouldn't
They
have won the
wouldn't
game.
have won,
Yeah, they
and they
lost.
won the
No,
game.
I'm saying, well, the first half, they only scored 7 points in the
He had
first
4
half.
touchdown
So,
passes the second
no, I'm
half.
saying that was the second
3.
half. That was the adjustment. I'm saying the first half,
hit
we
rush.
could have limited the turnovers and had a different ball game.
Nah.
Nah, you stick with what got you there. The horse that got you there was Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence turned up.
Trevor
at the
Lawrence
end of
didn't
the
get you there.
year. Yes, he did.
Yeah, he
I
did.
just
Yes, he
told
did.
you
They
in
were
the game.
82 they
Yes,
last
I just told
10
you
games,
in that
bro.
playoff
Yeah, you
game,
look at that
which was a
playoff
regular
game.
season game. Trevor Lawrence ain't do shit
but
that second
Nick,
half.
but Nick,
They
you
went
forgetting-
8-2 they last 10 games.
Yeah, you forgetting the whole
The
second
game
half.
that mattered, bro.
All of them mattered.
No, exactly. All of them mattered, but the game that mattered, where the game that was like, if you win, you're in. That's the one that mattered.
And
All
they
them other
won.
ones, they won. The defense
won.
got them that win.
Don't matter. They won.
Trevor got it. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Shelby.
No, I was gonna say it happens like that sometimes. I mean, sometimes it's gonna be this person, sometimes it's gonna be that person, sometimes it's gonna be this side of the ball, sometimes
I'm
that.
saying we went from the second half of that game to the first half of this game. He played horrible.
That's okay though, but that's
He's
what
only
makes
played
him-
one half of good
that's
football in the
what
last 2
makes him a
games,
stellar-
last 2 weeks.
That's what's building him up. Though he came back and threw 3 touchdown
The
passes.
good
in the
half,
second
the
half.
good half of football is what you need. Bro.
Yeah, and,
Right.
and the thing that shows you what the thing that tells you that you're wrong about this more than anything else is the fact that guess what their record is in them 2 games, 2-0. So what they did was what they should have done, which was stuck to the game plan, altered it a little bit, and it worked.
And the defensive game because you're right, the defense did a great job to win that last game. Prior to that, Trevor did his thing to even give him a shot to
He
win
did.
that last game.
Trevor,
I put it in the chat. You saw the comebacks, bro.
Trevor did his thing. He got off watch based off how the end of the season went. However, we can't ignore everything. He won the game. Doug Peterson gets the praise for winning the game. Trevor Lawrence gets the praise for coming back. But to come back means you had to be down in the hole for a minute.
Like,
Right.
And he fucked up a lot early.
You're-
So it's like
you're
we
right.
can't just
Yeah,
gloss over that.
No.
Now,
Nobody-
the only reason why we're glossing over that is because Brandon Staley and Justin Herbert played the worst half of football that I've ever seen
But
in
see-
a
But
dinner in a playoff
but
game.
See, like I said, the
if I'm
thing that-
excluding the Super Bowl.
and you're right about that. But the thing that we're missing is the fact that he had to be perfect in that second half. He had to do everything that he did to win that game, and he was able to do it. So yeah, I do blame Justin Herbert for not having a good second half. I do blame Staley, but Justin Herbert is not playing defense. So it's a team gets a collective effort. You still all you gotta do is stop. You're an NFL defense. You should be able to stop this man
Bruh,
once.
the defense for the Chargers had him at the 18 of Jacksonville, the 20. Like he had, Herbert had about 5 red zone them or like at least over their 50 to score. They only needed a field goal. They only need 2 field goals in the second half or a touchdown in that second half to win the fucking game.
Right.
And you can't get that for me. And you're supposed to be a QB that's supposed to be up there with the Burrows, the Allens, the Mahomes, and all as far as talent. And damn, they're about to be up there in the QB round Mount Rushmore.
Wasn't there a holding call on that play that caused the missed field goal? Because Herbert got him down there, and I think it was a penalty on the offense, and they had to settle for a field goal that they
That wasn't his
missed.
only
Yeah.
opportunity, though.
I know, but I'm saying, but that was the opportunity to really put the game away, you know, and they fucked up. And probably all of us watching that game was like, as soon as he missed that field goal, we knew what was going to happen.
Well, you called it. Like I said, Ken called it. He said it.
I just said, don't let Staley.
You
fuck this shit
said
up, bro.
he can, and the way you said, the way I read it was like, yeah, he's right, because I was tripping. I was like you. I was pissed at Lawrence. Not that I had a horse in this game, but I still was pissed at him for that performance because I wanted to see these two young guns go at it.
I called it because I was saying it's the battle of the white boys.
That's what it was.
It was a battle of two shitball teams that get praised more than they should. And you saw that. That whole game was a shitball game. That was not a really great game. So it was only great because we saw the epic collapse in both halves.
Shitball, what is Dallas to you?
Because
they beat Dallas.
We're going to get to Dallas.
Okay.
We're going to get to Dallas.
I think that you, just like you're doing with
that's why I say we have agendas.
Trevor Lawrence, yeah. You got an agenda against Justin Herbert.
Oh, them two.
I don't.
Them his two.
You do.
I don't. I don't like.
Those are your least favorite two.
Right?
But I picked Herbert. Why did I pick Herbert? Why did I pick Lawrence?
Here's my thing. At the end of this year, we think Staley will be fired and the Chargers will move on.
We said that last year.
This for sure this year.
No,
we don't know.
We don't know.
They said he may stay. He may keep his job.
He's
They
staying.
say the defense loves
They already said he's staying.
They already said that?
He's staying.
Well,
That's what I'm saying. Is like
my point was going to be maybe Herbert needs someone like Lawrence got with Doug Peterson.
You like Sean Payton?
And OC?
I don't know, whoever.
That's really who
Ken, what they know about Sean Payton for real? They gassing up Sean Payton.
They do gas him up.
They gassed him like he built Parcells.
They do gas him up, but I still would take him
because he had about 379 seasons back to back in New Orleans that no one talks about.
So Staley is staying.
He's in there. They fired. They threw the OC and the QB coach.
Well, you know, I know he's a young coach. We all see the struggles.
Yeah.
But his first year, he didn't make the playoffs. His second year, they did make the playoffs. He went out like shit. But maybe next year you were like, okay, we're gonna give him another year to see if he can improve on that because there was improvement. I guess is what I'm saying.
Right. This is
you can't knock
2 or 3.
This is 2. I thought I saw this was year 2 for him.
How many years on this deal? And that's another thing too. We got to consider like a lot of these guys.
That's the thing. Cowherd brought that up as far as like remember that memo that the NFL office was like, bro, look, y'all can't keep firing all these niggas
and that's
like
exactly
this.
what it's
and we still paying motherfuckers on the payroll from 2 coaches ago. So that's sort of like Brandon Staley only makes I think what $4 million or something, $4 to $8 million a year. You hire Sean Payton, you doubling that.
Yeah, and you got to give up,
and then you still got to pay
draft
that
picks and the other compensation you got to give up, maybe cash considerations and all that stuff. And ain't nobody watching the Chargers games right now. They ain't packing
Chargers
house.
Don't have no fans.
They don't even have a stadium.
Yeah, so you got to kind of watch that payroll and watch that money going.
Yeah, so with all that being said, he probably stays there.
He stays, and he got him to the playoffs, so he's progressed.
Maybe they need Byron Leftwich as their OC.
They did Byron Leftwich dirty in that moment.
But what's crazy though is that team, the playoffs should not have been the benchmark for that team the way it was constructed. Now,
who?
The Chargers. It should have been
the defense they bought and paid for showed up though.
What was the benchmark?
They should have at least won playoff game.
Oh.
I'm saying that they should have. It shouldn't be. Well, we made it to the playoffs.
Should have got out the wild card
with all that talent they had on that team. Now, I will say this in their defense: they did play most of the year without Keenan Allen, who's the top offensive player other than Eckler. No excuses.
They pull out my violin, bro.
No excuses. I'm just saying it's the truth. You had to play without your number 1, and Mike Williams is always down. You have no number 1 or number 2 receivers on that team.
Was Keenan Allen in the game?
In that game,
he was in the game. Okay, that's the number 1 receiver, right? That's the number 1 receiver, right?
I mean, he missed almost as much as Lamar.
Almost, but was he in the playoff game? Okay. Who's the number 1 receiver in Jacksonville? Say it, Zay Jones.
Zay Jones got him, bro.
Nah, Evan Ingram is the number 1 receiver in Jacksonville.
Oh, okay. And the Chargers had Everett too. Everett had over 100 yards that game, right? In the playoffs. Yeah. So they got and then Austin Eckler is better than Travis Etienne. Would you say?
Yeah.
Because he had 2 tutties in that game too, right?
So
I'm just saying, bro. Like the Chargers, niggas act like the Chargers don't got motherfucking players. Like
he ain't.
No, he's not a running back, but neither is Etienne. They're about the same.
I'd rather have Etienne get that dog in him, though. I don't think
Austin Eckler led the league in touchdowns 2 years in a row.
Yeah, like
that's. I'm now who's
he is like he like who he like. He don't like light skinned niggas. That's what he see Oscar. He saw his whole profile. He was like, this
none of the stats.
Yeah, I'll give a damn what that nigga doing. He ain't shit to me. Now I will say this though. That's what I'm saying. It's like the Chargers have offensive weapons. Let's not act like they ain't got offensive weapons. Yeah. The fact that my thing is more of Justin Herbert's lack of. He only had 1 touchdown. Under 200 something.
Yeah, somebody put in the chat. I'll see if I can find it. That they only had 7 points as an offense that whole game.
Like, come on, bro. And the reason why I also bring this up, not because I'm hating, but because we've been talking about quarterbacks and their contracts and their rookie deals, right? Remember when I brought this shit up years ago with Jared Goff and all that stuff? I was like, yeah, if you want to get a QB on a young deal and all that stuff, this is the new wave. Justin Herbert is going into his 3rd year, right? or he's in his third year.
Yeah.
And he's about to get they're about to get in negotiation. Him, Burrow, and maybe a couple other niggas going in negotiations. This was the time for y'all to really do some shit. They built the whole team around it. Now, you saying injuries, that's fine. But they should have won this game. There was no question in my mind they should have not won this game. We all agree that they should have won this fucking game without question. And you give up games like this, and you have to pay this nigga how much? Because you know how white QBs get paid.
Oh, they're gonna pay Herbert.
They're gonna pay Herbert 200 easy.
It's hard to
no
find
question. It's probably already signed.
Yeah. And you can't even. It's hard, and he can play the game.
So for the fact that he's gonna get $200 million for blowing that lead. Yet Lamar got to go out here penny pinching and got to have his teammates to go and say
like being really hard.
Herbert actually play in the game though.
Herbert played.
Yeah, like you being really hard on Herbert though. Bro.
I'm just saying, like, bro. This is the shit that I'll be talking about. This is the reason why. This is the only agenda I got. Let's pay everybody the same way. Let's keep everybody fair. Let's criticize all the niggas that we criticize on the same level.
All right,
Herbert
so
ain't
read this.
Herbert ain't mixed 6
super
games
chats.
the last 2 years.
So I got 2 that relates to this game. Mike Williams got hurt in a meaningless game in week 18.
There we go. And that's Staley's fault.
That's Staley.
Also, they only ran the ball. They ran the ball 7 times in the second half. Staley is a clown.
That's crazy. We have a 27-point lead
and ran the ball 7 times.
Lead and only run the
that's
ball 7
inexcusable.
Times. You should have ran the ball 7 times in the first series.
Like we got to get if Staley is going to stay, and I understand maybe the team likes his coach and he's good for the defense. We got to get an OC in here, an assistant head coach, somebody who's better with clock management and that can teach him how to do it because he's awful.
If we got to do all that, we might as well find a coach.
Nah, but
no, if we got to do all that, we might as well find. If I got to teach the head coach, you going to a coordinator to teach the head coach? Get the fuck out of here.
He's young though, like you said.
Young D's nuts. Get your ass hard to learn them.
And I got to keep paying him. No, you stay here and I'm gonna pay you to learn.
The other one from Drink More Water. The Chargers offense only scored 7 points without the Jaguars turnovers. The defense did their job. It's up to the offense to move the ball.
Talk about it.
So yeah,
we can't be talking about these niggas who don't. Bro,
Justin Herbert.
If Joe Burrow had a performance like that, Shelton is coming here early talking shit.
No, I wouldn't. Not this year. Nah, that before I would have for sure, but
you would have regardless because you be like, damn nigga, that Super run was a fluke, wasn't it?
No, I don't say that.
In a wild card game,
yeah,
I'm just saying though, like these are the future niggas.
Yeah, this is second playoff game.
No, this Herbert's first.
First. Yeah, like come on.
Okay, so we do that for that, right?
Okay.
But when we pull up the stats on when niggas is about to get paid, and we be like, what did you do in the regular season? How many games you win? How many playoff games you win? We don't be saying like, oh, you only that one loss you had in the playoffs, you was a rookie. Or you was still a youngin. We excuse that. They don't excuse that shit, Lou. They use that shit against all these niggas. Your record is who your record is. Yes. If you giving up 27 points when you up, get the fuck out of here, bro. You ain't that nigga.
But what I'm saying is Justin Herbert is not the dude yet that you're saying he is. Well,
that's what they know.
Wait. Well, all of that falls on him. Like he not Tom Brady yet. He ain't got to the point where I can compensate for a dumbass head coach, a defense that can't stop nobody in the second half, not running the ball, mismanaging the clock. He's good. He ain't that good yet.
I'm saying this. I'm not excusing Brandon Staley at all. Again, beginning of the season, we all agreed Brandon Staley's coaching for his job. If he fuck up, he should be fired.
Yeah.
The fact that they did not fire him means that they're keeping the things the same because Justin Herbert ain't going nowhere.
Right.
So they're keeping things the same. So if we keeping things the same, I gotta blame. This blame's going somewhere else too.
That's where it goes.
I'm saying
that's it.
The blame ain't all on Staley. He ain't getting 100%. You giving 100% to Staley. That's
100%.
it. How many you giving to Staley?
To Staley, I give about 80.
Ken, how many you giving to Staley?
It's the bulk of it. I don't have a number, but 75.
I'm giving 60.
How much you give to Herbert?
40.
Oh wow,
I don't think that's acceptable.
Yeah, because
what you mean? He doesn't get the lion's share because it's all because I told you I care about coaching more. It's proved this season proved more than anything. Because I remember that conversation we had with FIFO or where FIFO was here. I was like, bro, what would you rather have, franchise quarterback or a head coach first? He said I'd rather have franchise QB. I said I'd rather have a head coach. That this year proved that head coaching matters more than a franchise QB. Because we see Trevor Lawrence with Urban Meyer, we see Trevor Lawrence with Doug Peterson. To y'all point, it's a different thing. We see Daniel Jones with Joe Judge, and we see Daniel Jones with Brian Daboll. It's a different thing. You know what I'm saying? We see the Vikings with Mike Zimmer. We see the Vikings with Kevin O'Connell. It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Head coaching
Similar.
matters.
Yeah.
Similar.
It's a similar thing.
So but that plays into your point. So that's why Staley gets the majority of the blame.
He does. I said 60.
More than 60.
Yeah.
The only reason he get 50 because
But I'm saying if you have a
so
franchise
Herbert don't
QB
play defense. That's 50
first-
right
you
there.
can't get a first down.
One part is he don't play defense. The second part is like you said, they ran the ball 7 times. Justin Herbert don't call plays.
I understand that, but the
Yeah.
plays that he is called, you can't get a first down.
His first playoff game, I can't go over to the sideline and be like, "Hey, coach, we need to run the ball."
I didn't
ain't
say
there
that.
yet.
I didn't say that. For the times that he thrown, you can't get a first down, bro. You can't get us into the red. You can't get a tutty.
Nah, because y'all not running the
It's
ball.
too much for me to ask for you to get a tutty in the second half
Yeah, it is. If you putting everything else
against Jacksonville's defense.
Jacksonville got to
You
don't
keep
do
saying
that.
it like they got a bad defense.
Jacksonville has a good defense.
It ain't good enough to where you can't get a tutty.
It's good enough where it held them out the second
Yeah,
half
it
and won
is.
that game.
That
Like,
defense,
let's not, like you just said,
ball.
they only gave up 7 points to Justin Herbert in the whole game.
yeah.
That's a good-
How many they gave
the
up last week?
Jaguars, even less against the Titans, like you said, this whole 8-2 stretch that they've been over the last 10
That
games
defense been
has
stout.
been fueled by their
You telling me I
defense.
can't get a Joshua Dobbs performance out of Justin Herbert? He at least had 2 tutties, did he not?
Joshua Dobbs got Vrabel on the sideline to help him out. Justin Herbert just fight. He's just out here. I'm just by myself.
Yeah,
bro.
you know
Okay,
that.
then let me ask y'all this before we move on to the next game. Does this playoff win mean that Trevor Lawrence has arrived?
Yeah, the expectation
Oh,
level has
yeah.
moved up.
What's that?
Yeah.
Like, he every year playoffs. Like he the best
He-
quarterback in that division easily.
And he should be competitive every year.
Yeah.
That's what I look out of those
Yeah.
guys. I expect both of them to be competitive.
Now I will be like you. We can sign off on him if you go 2-3 years without going to the playoffs. Now it ought to be every year. We win in the AFC South, and you got to figure out how to deal with Trevor.
So if the Titans come back and win the AFC South next year,
that shouldn't happen. They don't got no quarterback. Nobody in the AFC South has a quarterback. Like he's the best quarterback in the AFC South. He ought to be able to take that defense and that team at least 2-3 years to the playoffs. Like no problem.
Yeah, they need to
You agree?
they need to be able to take next step at this point.
what about you, Ken?
He took a big step forward this year, and I think he was on watch. He's off watch. He proved he can play. He had a horrible, inexcusable first half. We talked about other quarterbacks that did the same thing in their first games as a rookie. Well, not a rookie in their first playoff game. I think the thing I'm not going to say he's arrived yet, but I'm definitely impressed with that comeback.
Yeah.
That told me a lot about him. But again, that coach on the other side had a lot to do with that. You know, any other coach, not named Brandon Staley, probably would have ended up winning that game. Trevor probably would have put up numbers that would have made the first half not look as bad. But to overcome that, like Shelton said, to have to be perfect, the energy, the leadership, it's something, bro. And so I think I'm kind of, I want to see what he does next year.
For me, that game proved more about where the Chargers at than where Jacksonville is at. To me, the Chiefs game will prove that.
The best team in the AFC.
It's
the
a
best
measuring stick.
quarterback, the most successful
the
coach.
Chiefs game will prove that because that's competent coaching. That's a competent quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a measurement game. If you're the number 1 overall pick, don't look at me like I'm crazy. If you're the number 1 overall pick, you're supposed to be a franchise Hall of Famer QB. You got to go against these dudes. You're in the playoff now. You're in the dance. What do we always say? Get in the dance. You don't even know what's gonna happen.
What do you expect from Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars?
I don't expect anything. I didn't even expect them to get past this far. I had the Chargers winning. So now that they've exceeded my expectation, I just want to say, okay, let me see what you do
What do they
against
look like
what they
against
look
the
like
Chiefs?
against a real team. Because like we talked about the Chargers, I don't even think the way y'all look at me, y'all was like, look, y'all not surprised the Chargers get with that big old lead. Y'all not surprised by Brandon Staley fucking up the way he did. So it don't even look like y'all really cared about who was on the other side of that coin. So it's like
something to do.
No, we
with it,
did. And
so
that's
it's the
something
only
to do with.
impressive thing is like we see you come from a big hole when you
The
fuck
third
up.
largest and third or fourth
Yeah,
largest.
that was the most impressive thing. So it's like, okay, that's
I
impressive.
think the Chiefs had it before, right?
Yeah,
Against the Texans.
Texans.
That's impressive. But let's see what happens in the next round and see like, okay, well then that game did mean something because he carried it over, or it was more like, nah, that was Brandon Staley and he just really
and
fucked
in
up.
that game, and I'm sure Nick would have been the same way. Everybody was praising Patrick for coming back. They wasn't really talking about how shitty the first half was. They were talking about how you came back from all that down.
And you know what else we talked about, if I remember correctly? We talked about how bad of a coach it was to let, because Deshaun was good, and the coach was terrible, and they shouldn't have blown that lead.
Exactly.
And we talked about coaching in that game
Exactly.
too.
Yep. Yeah.
We didn't really talk about Deshaun Watson.
That was
We
Patty's
didn't.
first playoff run, right?
Was it?
As a starter.
That's when he beat San
Yeah.
Francisco, I think. So that was a Super Bowl run.
Yeah, that was his first year.
It was.
That was his first year as a starter. I think so. Yeah.
He won a Super Bowl his first
He
year.
won
as
an
a starter?
MVP and he went to the Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
I think the thing is like, it's something you talk about all the time.
The chat was correct.
Is that these regular season games are cool, but what happens in the playoffs and what happens when you're faced with adversity? And even if they didn't even win that game, just to even come back and make it a fight, to dig the team out of a hole that you made, would have sufficed, because it shows that you has heart or something. You're going to learn from this and come back next year. You did even better. You won the game in the playoffs when everything on the line. It's kind of one of the things we looked at with Matt Stafford last year, when he was struggling, when Tom Brady went on that run, when he was throwing interceptions left and right against Green Bay and the Saints and would still find a way to win the game. These are the things you look for in quarterbacks. Trevor Lawrence showed something that Justin Herbert didn't show in that game.
Has not shown. Yep.
And Justin Herbert had a chance.
And that's
to
what
put
I'm
that
shocked
away.
about too.
It's the difference maker effect.
Because I thought Herbert at this point in his career would be better than Trevor Lawrence.
And I can see where you
Why?
could get that from. Because well, from the experience, one, the fact that he's been in the league longer, and also
he's been in these situations.
yeah, also he's played
Winner go
more
home.
meaningful football.
Yeah.
And
He lost to the Raiders. He lost to the
Herbert
Raiders.
has always been a blue chip prospect. It was only the interaction with Urban Meyer down there last year that kind of threw him off track.
Mhm.
He would have been doing this last year probably had he had the good coaching that Doug
Don't do
and
that.
the stability.
But like we
that
talked
Doug
about,
We don't know that.
Peterson
We
had.
don't
No,
know that. Don't
I'm
even
just saying that
assume
to the point of I didn't expect her. Like I've always expected this out of Trevor Lawrence. It may have taken a while to get there, but this has been him since he was playing in Georgia in high school. He lost 2 games in high school, bro.
That's high
He lost
school, bro.
1 game in college.
That's a lot of these niggas who come out of high school.
Nah,
yeah,
ain't a lot of people doing that.
You know what I'm
Lawrence-
saying? There's a lot of niggas who got an amazing high school records that they don't do shit. in the
And
league.
college records, what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like
Trevor Lawrence
my
has
point
had-
is he's a blue chipper. Herbert, like we didn't know, like he supposed to came out 1 year and
He
be
was
good,
supposed
then
to
he
be
went
that guy.
back and nobody liked him, so he fell in the draft.
Yes.
Like it's been up and down with him. So he really showed his ass when Taylor got hurt and he had to come in. And we're like, oh no, he got it.
Oh,
Now
man,
when
he
Taylor
said-
got hurt, when they fucked him up.
Yeah, when they stabbed him up.
in the way he steps up for big games because
Yeah,
like
I
we
mean,
talked about, he played
yeah.
he played good when anytime he played against Patty, he plays well.
He's good.
But in the
He don't get no dubs like that.
Sunshine been
Well,
that
he
dude,
did.
though.
Yeah, he won one of those games. One of he won 1 out of the 3.
Oh, Manny gone.
And
Manny was here. He left.
Yeah, well,
but yeah, my thing is you can have a bad game. You can, and I thought about that after the fact because I was killing Trevor Lawrence too. But then I thought about like, wait a minute, these guys are men and they ain't perfect. They're not built perfect. So you can come out there and stink the joint up sometimes and learn from your mistakes and come out and have a great career and do great things. All these guys ain't perfect, man. Your first playoff game, you could nut up out there. You just could.
A lot of guys we love
have
did
done
that.
it.
And that's why I wasn't tripping on Trevor
Mm-hmm.
like that. Couple more, then we'll transition to another topic.
I'm playing Bales bondsman
Maybe he'll come back.
because I'm waiting for bro. Y'all criticize any other young QB. If y'all don't give them the same grace y'all giving these niggas, I'm calling that shit out.
Well, you know what? I mean,
because our great QBs just how we in the playoffs now. Ain't no sweet
well,
shit.
I think
no
the
more.
difference in because Kyler, I jumped on Kyler.
Everybody jumped on
I pretty
Kyler.
much jumped
I did
on
too.
Hurt.
Everybody jumped
Hurts
on
as
Lamar.
well.
early.
I think we may have been a little bit more lenient on Lamar.
Nah, niggas
that.
wasn't. Other
I'm talking about
motherfuckers-
us though. But the difference is he came back and won the game, and I
Yeah.
think and played well in the second half, and I think that's why. If he would have been benched or just would have played shitty the whole game, oh yeah, he would have.
But you talking about Herbert? You talking about we should be harder on Herbert?
Or both.
We should be on both. Those
Nah,
are
you can't
both
be- you
bad
can't-
performances.
you can't do that.
not in the playoffs.
You know
in
what
the
I'm
wild
saying?
card game with everything on the line.
I give credit to Doug Peterson and the Jaguars for getting the dub, and Trevor Lawrence for having a comeback win. You give credit for that. There's no not giving credit for that. However, you do that goofy shit next round, y'all going home and it's gonna be a 50 burger in y'all ass, and you'll be like, all right, we got to reevaluate things.
I mean, and
I
I feel you
couldn't
on
see
that.
that happening.
I understand and I feel you on that. But the only thing that matters, like you say this all the time, he got the dub
I give credit.
and the playoffs.
in the
When it
playoffs at
matters
home.
most. Yeah.
Got one more. Give Trey love, Nick. When Burrow had no touchdowns and one interception versus Tennessee last playoffs, Bengals defense carried. It happens. It's the NFL. He won the game. Your voice. That's from you, Woo Young.
He said, "What game in Tennessee?
Yeah.
Playoffs last year. Yeah.
Did he have a touchdown in that?
But he got sacked 6 times,
I think he had a touchdown in that game.
7 times.
Well, I hope he
9.
looked it up before he sent it.
Got sacked
maybe
9
I don't know
let me
where
double
he
check that.
But
He get sacked 9 times.
He did not have a good game. I don't know if he might have had a touchdown, but he didn't have a good game. But it happens. It does. It happens.
He didn't throw 4 picks. That's my thing. It's like because we that was the only thing. It's not about the 200 yards or whatever. It's more about what am I doing to hurt my team? Because we talked about Dak Prescott and throwing interceptions. Sheldon, you were bringing up that turnovers a lot, like turnovers.
Yes.
Everybody's been talking about turnovers and all that. And Ken, what did we talk about? It was like, bro, turnovers are a part of the game. We're in a passing league now. It's going to happen more than it happened before. It doesn't mean you're going to win or lose a game. And proving that on Saturday that Trevor Lawrence throwing 4 picks don't really mean you're going to win or lose the game. It depends on when when those picks happen. So when you talk about picks and all that shit, when I see 4 interceptions and the nigga got the dub and we like, oh yeah, he got the dub. It's like, that's not the same energy we've been keeping on this platform.
No, you're not keeping the same energy. I'm gonna tell you what the difference is. You say that about Dak all the time, correct? Now we talk about Dak. I'm talking about Dak over games. I'm not talking about one game. Trevor Lawrence, we talking about one game. One game. That's the only reason I'm saying that. If Dak threw 4 interceptions in one game, I'd be like, that's a bad game, Dak. Dak has thrown multiple interceptions 4 straight games.
8 straight.
He's thrown an interception in 8 straight games. Well, this past game he didn't. But that's my problem. My problem with Dak is he's continuously turned the ball over.
And I'm telling you,
and you made excuses.
And no, I said they won the game. There was 8-3 in those games, right? So as long as they won the game, that's all that mattered. And you was like, nah, I don't, because these interceptions are gonna be pits. So I was like, okay, I'll listen to that. No. So when we get to this Trevor Lawrence game and he wins, and now you switching, it's like, all right. So where we at, Sheldon? Is it either matter or it don't?
I ain't switching. I'm saying the same thing you are. If he does it the next game, it's not gonna work.
So it's either the dub.
What I'm saying is,
we get the my thing is either we get the dub and everything don't matter, and we scrub everything, or we evaluate the context, because that's the word that you like to use on this platform, context, right?
Oh, yeah.
So either we use it context or we're not.
So what I'm saying is, if Trevor Lawrence throws 2 picks the next game, they're gonna lose. Anytime you turn the ball over multiple times and if whoever leads the game in turnovers has a very high likely chance of losing that game.
True.
And it's proven. True. So if Trevor Lawrence comes out if he throws 2 picks against the Chiefs, it's a wrap. If he throw 1, it's probably gonna be a wrap. So what I'm saying is, if he does it, I'm with you. He gonna do it again. But what I'm impressed with about this particular game, and I'm ISO in this game, is the fact that the second half he came out and led that team to victory. And you can't put it on nobody else. We can't say it was Etienne. We can't say it was the offensive line. We can't say nothing else. I mean, the defense stood up stout, but we got to give him credit for battling back from those interceptions.
I said this.
What you said?
Trubisky better than Lamar. I had to been trolling.
Dang.
I had to been trolling. And then apparently we were not lenient on Lamar in his first playoff game. So yeah.
I told y'all, bro. We don't be talking about these QBs the same way.
I know I did.
But
and
Lamar
when I say
did have a chance to win that game, he just fumbled on the last possession.
Yeah.
So
a turnover.
Yeah, he came back to win that game.
No, but I'm saying, and Burrow didn't have no touch. He had over 300 yards passing. But
don't try to add that on there.
No, I'm saying he had no touchdown.
You really trying to throw that in there?
Touchdown.
Oh, he had
300 yards passing.
Yeah, what you talking about? He had no tutties.
Yards matter. Yards
his
matter.
Defense carried it.
As a QB, yards matter. My thing is this. Moving forward, we go. No. That's the receiver. That's our quarterback. Yards matter. My thing is this. Moving forward, we're evaluating all QBs the same way.
Yes, I would that.
Same way, right? If you get the dub, that's it, right?
Black QBs get a curve still.
Not to y'all, apparently. So, listen to the chat.
So that get a half curve.
Whatever. Patty don't get what Patty baby get. What Patty the baby don't get no curve. Patty, I'll say this. This is a random thing. Yeah. Make sure y'all look up Patty baby. Tell me if she black or not. Moving on. Another game on Saturday. The 49ers in Seattle. I think that was the first game to start off Wildcard weekend.
Gino.
You definitely know.
Nah, don't do that, Ken. Are the 49ers the overwhelming favorites to come out of the NFC, even with Brock? I think I'm Purdy.
Bro, dirty Purdy. My God.
At this moment, you basically would have to say so. And coming from me, of course, you know I don't like saying that, but I say that because Jalen Hurts' shoulder injury is scary. So saying that, 49ers are the most healthy team coming out.
You already know I can't. He tried my life. He already trying to head. Bro, I called this out week 18 when they faced the Giants. I was like, bro, what you think that was? He said some goofy shit like
scary.
Man, scary.
Stop it.
They the number one seed. What they gotta be scared for?
Sheldon, stop. You gotta be ashamed.
So you don't think he's hurt?
No.
Oh, you think he's okay?
It ain't nothing that we need. It ain't scary. It ain't nothing that we need to be concerned about.
He ain't got Lamar injury.
Ought to come out and ball based off the season that he had.
He does have Lamar injury. He just don't have his toughness.
Oh wow.
Based on what we saw,
spade to spade. Based on what Sirianni
said. He said we grade black quarterbacks on the curve.
What does Sirianni say?
We can't even see if a nigga hurt.
Based off what we saw from Jalen Hurts this season, he should come out and ball. Yes,
yeah, as long as he's not hurt. I mean, come on.
What do you mean?
As long as he's not hurt,
what did his coach say?
He ain't played in the game in 4 weeks.
What did his coach say? Why do you think he didn't play?
Because he recovering for the playoffs.
Oh,
he got everything secured.
Once again, if he's recovered, then I'm all on board. I ain't.
And I mean, you think he's hurt or you think he's recovering?
I think he's hurt. If he wasn't hurt, they wouldn't be saying it. Why are they saying it?
Why did he play week 18 if he was hurt?
Because they needed him out there. A hurt Jalen Hurts is better than Gardner Minshew.
And I said he been gone in 4 weeks because that last week.
This ain't about the Eagles. They ain't played this past weekend. It's about the 49ers. Are they the overwhelming favorites?
It ain't overwhelming, but they're the favorites.
Same for you.
Absolutely. That defense.
Overwhelming or not the favorites?
Overwhelming. Just based off the scheduling that Dallas had to come off with the Monday night, and then they got to go there. So that's putting them at a disadvantage. So overwhelming. Absolutely. I don't see anybody in the NFC that should be able to go toe-to-toe with the Eagles. With the 49ers.
Purdy, bro. Been telling y'all, man, that boy, some brewing in San Francisco. I told y'all, Purdy ain't gonna let that shit happen.
That's his job.
He ain't gonna stand for that shit.
That's his job.
And he came back, bro, and he put them hands on the Niners.
That's his job.
Geno fucked around and fumbled the ball.
I was gonna say, bro, Geno was making that a fucking game.
First half, it was. Yeah.
Hey, when he threw that bomb to Metcalf, I was like, oh shit.
That was good, but for the most part,
that was a gorgeous because it came out. It was like on a third down too, and I was like, it was like 3rd and 4.
It was like 3rd and 1, 3rd and short.
Some shit like that. I was like, I did not expect that.
He was dinking and dunking.
And Ward was balling too. They was going back and forth, but that play right there. That was just a beautiful play.
It was the fumble because they were down by a touchdown and they were on the red zone or something like that.
It drove them down there.
The Niners defense showed up.
It's superior.
Purdy was like Purdy wasn't having it, bro. Like he was very aggressive. That's why I was like, and Cal. I don't know what it is about Purdy versus Cal versus Garoppolo or somebody else. If anything, because he looked shaky in his first game. Like he was running around and throwing ill-advised passes.
That first half was. Brock Purdy played shitty.
Yeah, he was trying to do too much.
Yeah,
but when he settled in, man, he was chunking that rock.
And it wasn't just that; his pocket presence was good too. Because when the pressure would come, he just would make the right little shift, the little move. I saw one play where he ran backwards. He actually was going backwards and ran around, and he threw it away. But in most cases, a young quarterback would get sacked on that play and would cost his team all that yard.
And those are the things that I was looking at. As like, all right, what? Because, first round, we already picked our winners. For the most part, we all agreed on most of those winners. So, in my mind, we're already thinking about who they may play in the next round. Like, what are they doing this round that can be like, all right, you could probably maybe copy that for the next round. That's a good play. That's a good scheme. Like, I was looking at Brock Purdy that first half, and I was like, you really going toe-to-toe with Geno Smith right now? Like,
that sounds crazy to say.
I'm saying that because of the I'm saying that because of the 49ers team. I'm like, we really doing this? I think they said the game turned when the Seahawks player was grabbing at Debo's ankles and shit for that tackle.
Yeah,
and it was kind of like when the Bengals made Aaron Donald upset and he just turned up, and it was just like, and I was looking at Brock Purdy because he was throwing some shit that was like, bruh, you missing the open guy right here. Why are you throwing a bomb down here, giving the defender
a rookie, bro?
Again, rookie. So he's a rookie. So eventually he's gonna make rookie mistakes, and eventually he's gonna face a team that's gonna be like, nah, nigga, we ain't gonna let you pass on that.
Right.
You don't give a fuck who the 49ers
that's why the Cowboys and the Eagles are scary for him too. That's another part that we got to take.
Well, he's facing the Cowboys up next,
right? And that if that pressure gets to him and he can't get out of that, because that Eagles, like with the Eagles, for example, same thing with the Cowboys, they got good schemes, but the Eagles front line gives you a lot of pressure, and that pocket closed quick. And if he can't get out of it,
and if you look at the first half, or even I think majority up to the third quarter before it became a blowout, most of his plays that went big yardage were checkdowns. I remember there was a third and 12 with George Kittle. He threw a check down. He got the first. There was obviously that long touchdown by Debo that was supposed to be a 5 to 8 yard play. And then there was also I was looking at and then he missed Debo on that bomb that he threw down to Ayuk that almost got intercepted. Debo was wide open for real estate to run, and he decided to go for the bigger play. And it's like, okay, will Dallas give you that much time? Will Michael Parsons not give you enough time to look all the reads? You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, so I'm looking at for this next game, Kyle Shanahan got to go in his bag even deeper because it's like, bro, the Cowboys outside of their secondary are not gonna let anything go.
Did Parsons get hurt? Because I saw him
he was limping
real
a little.
bad.
It wasn't. It was just like a little shin contusion.
I think
he should be all right.
Yeah, he should be good. But the thing is, they fucked him up on the Monday night game. I don't know why. They
I disagree with Rob Costa. Brock Purdy win another game.
Yo, he didn't get.
Trey Lance
is not getting that job.
I think Trey Lance is done now.
I got a sneaky feeling too, Nick. I ain't want to say it.
But the thing is, it's the draft capital that somebody's got to answer for that trade. That's my only thing.
That's the thing.
I get you. If you win a Super Bowl, let's say that the 49ers win the Super Bowl. Okay. In the offseason, somebody gonna be like, all right, so why the fuck did we give up 3 first round picks when we can win a Super Bowl with the last pick of the draft?
Here's the thing, though. Don't nobody know Trey Lance ain't good yet. You can still trade him.
Get the fuck out of here. You out of all people and shit.
Don't nobody know that yet.
You the one that told me he ain't even a professional quarterback.
Yes, and I still believe that, but everybody in the league ain't convinced of that. So maybe it's a team that's willing
and I'm
to take
pulling
a
the shoulder,
chance.
man. Them motherfuckers, they love Brock Purdy. Or Glock Purdy, as Aldrin Jason.
Key Glock. Key Brock.
They fucking love him, bro. They talk highly of this kid.
You know why? You know why? Because they got a competent quarterback who can stay healthy.
Man, and we look at how it happened in Washington with RG3 and Cousins. It can happen. They'll especially if you get these boys to the NFC Finals. I mean, NFC Championship.
If I was the 49ers, I have the Redskins, the Texans, all these teams on the phone. The Jets that need a quarterback. Hey, look, Trey Lance was looking great before he got hurt, man. 3rd round, you could have it.
I wouldn't want him because he's going into his 3rd year. He about to be
it's cheaper than what you're gonna get.
He got to be, but you gonna have to pay him soon.
I don't think that matters because you ain't gonna have to pay him like that. And then somebody will take a flyer on him. He's not gonna get big quarterback money. He's just gonna get money.
Then why trade for him?
Because you're hoping that he shows that he can play.
Good. You get it a value pick.
Yeah,
we get a 1st round pick for like a 3rd.
If I'm all those teams, I'm already picking top 8, top 10 anyway. I can get a QB.
Well, you look at some of those other teams.
Stay on that 5-year deal.
You look at teams like you got the Raiders out there. You have the Titans. You have a bunch of those teams that won't get those picks that may need somebody. The Dolphins may take a quarterback, even though they're saying that that's his job. They're saying that that's Tua's job. You still want somebody there for insurance.
Tua is done.
Well, they already said that he's a starting quarterback next year.
Yeah, they said he.
But once again, if
they said a lot of things.
Yeah, they did.
They said a lot. Brady gonna be in that motherfucker by week 1.
And the Panthers are always looking to give somebody some extra. Well, he's black. They ain't gonna do that.
Panthers.
Before we move on, Lou, I'll toss it to you before everybody else can answer. Should Geno be the starter moving forward for the Seahawks, or should they draft the QB since they have a top 8 pick, I believe?
I would go with Geno. If I were the Seahawks, I would be expecting him. I'm not thinking that he would want $40 million or anything crazy like that. I would feel like that we could meet somewhere where he's going to be paid like a high-level quarterback, but I ain't going to break the bank either, and I can still put people around him. But he's shown enough this year where I would move forward with him for at least the next 2 years. I'm not wasting a high draft pick on a quarterback this year and got them sitting around waiting till Geno Smith start falling off. I would start building more talent around him, and I'll take a quarterback in a couple of years. But yeah, I'm signing.
I 100% agree with that. I think that you build that team up because you're deficient in a lot of areas. So you put people in place. I don't think you're gonna find. Well, I can't say I don't think. This year, I think that you wouldn't find a better option than him at that pick. So you can either turn that pick into more picks, so you can strengthen that defense, or put your offensive line together like you want to. But you keep him there for a couple years for the leadership, but nothing else. His team believe in him.
It seems like they like him.
They do.
They fuck with you.
They do, and he's proven himself to deserve, like you said, a couple years.
Is that saying much from after dealing with Russ? You go from a cornball to a black man.
Yeah, we didn't know how bad Russ was officially until now. We heard rumors, but you didn't see it until now. Russ fell off a cliff, but even in saying that, Geno is still in the top half of the league in quarterbacks. So we can't.
He's top 15.
Yeah, for sure. And we can't say nothing bad about that. You know what I'm saying? You want one of those top guys, but who's to say you're gonna get that in this draft?
What's up, Cam? What you say you're here for?
He got to go. He got to go. And it looks like they may. And I was just doing a mock draft. They might get
Will Levis,
the 5th pick. It might be Stroud, bro.
They got the 5th pick.
I'm trying to make sure. I'm trying to make sure.
I know they got a top. I know the
It's
Eagles
from
got a
Denver.
top pick too.
The pick from Denver. Yes, they do. They got because they got Denver's pick. I forgot about that.
They didn't expect Denver to be that shitty either.
That's why.
But no, now this one has it at 9. So I don't know. But yeah, if it's the top 5 and they can get Stroud, bro, he out of there.
Well, Stroud, I think, will be gone.
Nah, they had other guys going. Jalen Carter going for. It's just a mock draft.
The QB is going one too, bro.
They are.
Yeah,
because even if they trade out, even if Chicago trades out,
you think Stroud is going to top 2?
Yeah, I think Stroud. He's gonna go top 3.
It ain't nobody else.
I think Will Levi is going.
Nah, man.
Fuck around somebody's draft board.
Nah, your boy fucked that up. Zach Wilson fucked that up. He fucked all for at least 2 years.
Zach
fucked all
I think Will
Let's
Levis
take a flower on this athletic white guy. Like,
I think Will Levis is better.
He's the Matt Jones of this draft.
I think Will Levis is a better prospect coming out than
yeah, they got the 5th pick,
Then
bro.
who?
Yeah, the chat saying 5th, and Sporting News has 5th as well.
Seahawks, yeah, they getting
Will Levis and Zach Wilson the same player.
On this one, they have the edge rusher from Clemson, Miles Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
So on Sporting News guy, Will Anderson going first, Bryce Young, Jalen Carter, then Stroud going 4.
To the Raiders?
Yeah. Well, to the Colts. So at that point,
yeah,
you know.
So Bryce Young,
Will Levis is still be there.
Y'all would take Will Anderson number 1?
Absolutely. Who?
Will Anderson.
Yeah, I can
You'll
see
take
that.
him 1 with the Texans.
I can see that.
I mean,
the
Bears.
I don't know if I would take Will Levis.
I wouldn't take Will Anderson number 1.
Anderson.
Well, I was talking about Will Levis.
I'll trade back if I was the Bears.
He's still there at 5. Like, I don't know if I would take
Levis?
him. Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Will Levis?
He has no. You
I ain't
seen
taking
his?
him at all.
Y'all seen the thing I sent y'all?
Yeah,
like his stats are awful. Like
I ain't even need to see it. I just know I was.
It don't even matter, bro.
Yeah.
Somebody got to believe in him.
That's
your
Trubisky. That's it.
Moving on to the Bills Dolphins game. Ken, should Mike McDaniels and the Dolphins get a pass for how their season went this year?
Was he really smoking a
vape?
Damn, that's crazy. I thought they made that shit up. Should they get a pat? They showed a lot of heart in that game. This is one game I didn't get a chance to watch because we were recording.
Yeah.
But I was really surprised by the score and just kind of watching you guys talk in the chat. You know, we talking about quarterbacks playing bad. You know, for a guy that has experience in the playoffs to play that bad,
who been to an AFC,
I don't know. So
who had Patty down 9 points in the AFC?
Yeah, you expect that from younger guys, especially a first timer, but from Josh Allen, that shouldn't happen. I think they showed a lot of heart, in that game, but I really can't say.
Because we were recording it at the time, but I think they were down 14-0. I was looking at the score.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was
I thought it was gonna be a blowout.
But he hadn't played good all year to me. I don't know.
After you had him in your
Josh Allen.
After you had him in your 5, right?
Huh?
He was.
I'm talking about for himself. I'm talking about where he should have been. Yeah, I did still have him in my 5.
Yeah, you had him over Patrick Mahomes, but you saying after that?
Yeah.
He ain't played. Okay.
The only reason I put him over Patrick Mahomes at that time, I'm talking about as the year went progressed.
Right, that's what I'm at.
Yeah, because it was a fluid list, right?
That's
for sure. Well,
that's what I was clearing up.
Your list wasn't the same in the beginning at the end.
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was some adjustments.
It changes. But what I'm saying is he didn't have a great
season. I never had Josh Allen over Patty though. No,
I did. Well, once again,
I know. I'm just saying I never had Josh Allen over Patty.
They play head to head.
Any given point in time of the season.
See, you talking about talent. We're not talking about talent.
I didn't say that. I just said all I said was I never had Josh Allen.
So in that game when they played head to head, it was early in the year.
I still did not believe Josh Allen was better than Patty,
even though he outplayed him.
I still did not believe Josh.
But he outplayed him though. So you want
what did
so
I
he
just
didn't
say?
have-
I
so
still did not
once
believe that.
I
again,
didn't
it
either.
didn't matter whether he outplayed him or not. You had already made up in your mind that you was picking. Patty.
No, it was made up in my mind because of the end of results. It always ends the same way. I saw what happened. He did
But
the same.
see, that's what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying
that's why it's a
he
full
did the
list.
same thing last year.
If we
Did he not do the same thing last year?
If
He
we gonna
beat
do
Patty
that-
in the regular season. They lost in the playoff game.
but we weren't at the playoffs yet. That's my point. If you're doing a list, and here's the thing about that: if you're doing a list, it stops at this point. We can't say what we think gonna happen later, even though it did. And I was sure Patty was gonna end up being the best. But at the moment, there's no way I could rate him ahead of him. It was only like what was it, like the third game of the season? There's no way we could rate him ahead if he
But
outplayed
they
him.
usually say past results predicts future behavior, right?
But
So
there's
in
no point
in the past, how many times has Josh Allen faced Patty in the playoffs?
we ain't talking about
I'm
the
just,
playoffs.
I'm just asking a separate
I
question.
think just was it one?
No.
Or two?
I
could be wrong.
He played him in the AFC Championship
Yeah.
game, and then he played him in the and
So it's two?
Yeah, so it's
I know.
twice.
I know this past for 11
So it's
seconds.
twice. And how many times has Josh Allen beat
None.
Patty? None. Okay. So you're expecting me to think that a guy who's never beat Patty when it counts
That ain't what the list is for.
to for the full year not only play well,
ain't-
if not better than Patty, and
That
then
ain't-
beat
we ain't talking about the
possibly
full-
Patty in the
See, you
playoffs.
still do it. You still moving the needles is what that's called. Because if we're there's no point in doing lists if that's the case. We're gonna pick these players and we're gonna stick with who we think gonna be there at the end. That's it. There's no point in doing a mid-season report. We're doing a report on where they stand, not what we think they're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Patty could, God forbid, he
put
could
some
have
thought into that.
he could have
thought
broke
about
his,
that.
no, that's the truth. He could have broke his leg or something, not finished the season. Then we couldn't say who's better. or
I
worse.
Alright,
agree.
so
I
anyway.
agree, yeah. What was the question?
The question we ain't got shit to do. I was asking, should Mike McDaniels and the Dolphins get a pass for
Go
the
get a
season?
pass. What, for the game or the
For
season?
the season. For I win.
Hell yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. All that bullshit they went through with Tua and it's third string quarterback, and I'm fighting in the playoffs.
Was that
game.
Tua's fault?
Did we give?
Was that
I-
Tua's fault?
I'm not saying that it's anyone's fault, but you asked.
It was Mike McDaniel's fault.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
maybe, but if Tua wasn't so fragile, then maybe Mike
No,
McDaniels.
it's Tua's fault. I forgot Lou was the one that said, "Hey, this football,
It's football, baby."
Yeah.
He
So,
definitely has an old mind.
yeah, he don't give a
So-
fuck about injuries.
With that being said, when you say a pass, yeah, he played some part in the Tua thing, but had those situations not happened, you're looking at a team that went 8-2. Tua was one of the best quarterbacks statistically in the division and the league when he was in there. So yeah, like you got to look at it and be like, well, what would have happened if Tua was able to stay healthy and they maybe would have won the AFC East? Maybe they got a better position against the Bills.
Yeah.
So I think Mike
You're covering
McDaniels.
up the
I was
bro.
like, hold on. We drinking right now. I heard about 5 ifs. So
Yeah.
you like,
But that was
hey,
the
he said
question.
What
if
you
this
said-
happened,
that's what-
when
for that
this
one
happened, hey, if this happened, then hey, we don't. I'm like, all right, bro. That's not how
When
football
you talk about a
goes.
pass, you gotta weigh the ifs in. So you say, hey, do they deserve a pass? Absolutely. That's why he was hitting the vape on the sidelines, man. All this bullshit that happened
How
to
did
the
they get
Dolphins.
a pass? He got him to the playoffs. I think that's good.
Did we give the Ravens a pass for all injuries they had last year?
I don't think so. I did, but I don't think everybody else did.
I think it was. I don't know. I can't remember how I even ruled on that, but I think they do get a pass for the injuries. That
The
they had.
Ravens do because that was like a
Ah,
historical.
was a
now
lot,
the Ravens do. So what do you mean by a pass though? Mike,
I'm
Mike
just asking the question.
he did a great job this year.
You
I'll
think
say
so?
that. Yeah,
Okay.
he did
Yeah.
a great job this
Overall.
year. And to even have them competitive in that Buffalo game, like I thought they almost get the doors blew off of them.
Mhm.
I thought they were gonna get boat raced out there, and they stayed in it the whole game. And that's a credit to Mike McDaniel, his game plan, and he's been doing that all season. Anytime something happened, Tua go out, or I got to deal with Bridgewater. Oh, Bridgewater out, they still find a way to be competitive.
What about you?
That's so tough for me, and I don't give him a pass. I mean, it ended how it should have ended, and like I said, I don't give passes because if that's the case. We got to give a lot of teams a pass because a lot of teams without important pieces down the stretch. So in saying that, unless it's an extraordinary situation like the Ravens had last year, don't nobody get no pass. Like the
Well,
Ravens don't get a pass
wait.
this year for me.
By pass, if you own the Dolphins, what decision would you make for him this year?
Oh, he would get a good grade still,
That's a pass.
but it's not. But I don't call it a pass. I just
Were
when
you,
I say
were you disappointed at all with how the season went based off, like, when I say should have get a pass, I should clarify. It's more about based on how everything went this season. When you look at Mike McDaniels, you think he could have done
did a good
more,
job.
or he did the best he
he did
could.
the best with what he had.
yeah, the only reason I agree with that because Teddy Bridgewater is a shell of himself.
And he got
Scholar,
hurt
yeah,
twice
Scholar,
coming in. Like,
right, he coming in and did nothing in those games. And Skylar Thompson is not ready. Well, he wasn't even. I don't even think he was drafted. He was a decent college quarterback, but he wasn't.
yeah. And he was competitive with them too.
Yeah, and to stay in the game with the Bills, and I understand sometimes that teams they kind of play down their competition, which there's no excuse because I'm not making no excuse for the Bills. I'm disappointed in the Bills, but still, you like you said, you're competitive. You have fight. That's what you look for.
I think I will give Mike McDaniels a pass because if you're on your third string QB by the time the playoffs hit, you can't really evaluate your team like that. However, I will say that I think somebody in the chat said it, and I think other people have come to Jesus on this moment as well. Brian Flores was right. They should have moved off of Tua a long time ago.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you ended up with this result.
Tua was 8-2 when he played.
I get that, but we don't play for the regular season.
He led the league. He led the league in QB percentage.
Up until the point where he got smacked around, right?
So you're saying he too little? You would have never took him.
Yeah, I'm saying like all the evaluations
not based off skill set. He can be an.
I'm just saying the player Tua is not is you've seen the best of Tua and you've seen the worst of Tua, and I don't think it gets better from here.
But,
so they should.
But the best is 8-2 leading your division, though.
The best is when I see you playing playoff teams, you got a losing record. Now, if they want to blame it on the concussions, that's a different thing.
I mean, you slammed his head in the ground, Nick.
I'm just saying, if you want to blame on the concussion, that's a different thing. Either way, that QB can't handle this type of football.
So it's just because it's more so availability for you versus you don't think that he has a skill set. Because Tua has shown that he can be an NFL quarterback this year. Would you agree?
Yeah, he's shown he can be an NFL quarterback. Okay. I don't think he's that nigga though. He's not a franchise QB to me. I don't think he's a franchise.
Nick, if he played well when he was available, you saying because he wasn't available,
I'm saying that Tua's ceiling to me is like, to me, Geno Smith and Tua are the same level.
Even though he played
so
great.
It's more about, do you want to build around that QB or would you rather take your shot at the lottery and get somebody else?
So this year, do you understand? Are you saying that he played bad or his injuries kept him out? Like which is the reason for saying he's not that nigga?
Because they're blending the injuries with the bad play. I can't really tell, but I know what's consistent is he's always been injured. I'd rather move off of him now.
Oh, move off of him because of injuries. But
he's injured.
But Gil Lamar a record-breaking contract.
Well, Lamar has proven
because he's been injured more than Tua.
Lamar has proven that he can win multiple games with less help than Tua.
But Tua
just started balling out this year.
He missed 6 games a year.
He missed 12 games.
He's missed the last couple years.
He missed 11 games.
He missed a few games the last couple years.
6 games.
So pay Lamar, but Tua can't do it.
Yeah, because Lamar's won an MVP and Lamar has won a playoff game.
How many games Tua missed these last 2 years?
He missed the whole damn near season.
Well, let's just talk about one season.
I'm just saying Tua missed a lot. Tua missed way more games than Lamar, and he's never won an MVP and he's never won a playoff game. Those are two things. Those are multiple things I can say about Lamar.
Tua a lot better than I thought he was.
That's not saying much, though.
I think he's a lot better than you.
Is that saying? What was your expectation to?
I thought he was garbage.
So that's not saying much, bro.
I didn't think he could play.
And you gave him, and to y'all's point that y'all been pointing out, y'all gave him what? Arguably the best receiver in football, right? This season.
Let him to the playoffs.
Arguably the best number 2 receiver in football this season, right?
A good receiver.
And then you give him.
That's it. That's what you gave him. You gave him Mike McDaniel, a great scheme, and 2 fast receivers, and he's shown I can throw the ball quick.
And a running back too. The running back is good too. Yeah, he got hurt, but he's good.
Yeah, all right.
He balled against the last time Buffalo. He played Buffalo.
It ain't like he got Bo Jackson back there. Like it ain't nobody that's making Tua better. Like Tua is serviceable, if not better than serviceable, if I'm the Dolphins, especially if I feel like that I could do
something. So you re-signed Tua to a long-term deal?
I'm resigning him. I don't know about no long-term
This is
deal.
what I'm talking about.
I'm not doing what do you mean long-term
That's
deal,
the same way that I talked to you about Geno Smith, right? It's the same way I'm talking about Tua. So are you signing Geno Smith to a long-term deal?
I would sign both of them to the same deal, yes.
What's the deal?
Whatever we said for Geno. Whatever I just agreed to.
Sheldon, are you signing Tua to a long-term deal?
Nah, I'll franchise him first.
What about you?
Mm-mm.
You're not franchising either?
No.
You can let him go?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Shit. You damn tap the helmet. This mother might be down. Nah, bro. Nah, he ain't right. He need to go play baseball. I can't have that. And I love Tua in college. I don't like Tua in the NFL. But I do think he, like Mike McDaniels, have a good system for him at work. He got elite receivers. his accuracy works well with that, and he just let them get the yak. But nah, bro. Nah. It's some motherfuckers hitting in the NFL, and he can't take it.
Especially in that division, especially in that conference.
But I understand that, and I feel that. But what I'm saying is I'm not basing him being like he ain't whack. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't move on from.
But then he missed the play. Right. I don't even remember him getting hit in the last game, and he been out for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
he got slammed in
that
the
Broncos
game. They
game.
throw him down like
they picked him up and threw him down again.
Yeah, you know how you be playing with your little cousin, you get too rugged, they be like, all right, bro, you ain't have to throw him down like that. That's how Tua's in. That's how he be getting thrown.
I told you, y'all started it.
Nigga.
Well, the bill started, but you contributed to it.
How?
Your Bengals.
No, don't do that. Because somebody already saying that it's a curse to be a Cincinnati. Niggas.
I wasn't playing Cincinnati, man.
Hey, I'm just saying, bro. It's a jungle out there. You better watch yourself. Is anybody on? Is Josh Allen on watch? Is it safe to say Josh Allen? I'm talking to the chat too. Is Josh Allen on watch?
He should be.
Bill should be.
You want to talk about he's throwing 5 picks in the last 5 games. In this past game, he had 2 interceptions and 2 forced fumbles. He lost one of the fumbles for a tutty.
He'll turnover king though.
I don't know, man.
But then he'll throw a pass.
I get the sentiment.
Oh, okay. We go. Oh, then he'll throw a pass.
I'm saying like he trying to.
I'm just saying, is Josh Allen on watch?
It's just like when I'm like he should be on watch.
He'll do some crazy shit.
Yeah, it's like he go out and find a way to win a fucking game, bro. And at the end of the day, ain't that what we want?
Okay. This is another game.
A little too reckless.
This is another game where a guy has multiple turnovers. Yet, as long as he gets the dub, we are excusing the turnovers because the dub is all that matters. I just want the record to be shown moving forward. The dub is all that matters.
Yes, the dub matters, but it depends on how those turnovers come. When you're reckless, like it looks like Josh Allen is, like when you're not hitting the guy on the check down, but you're going deep and it's a turnover because you're doing the triple coverage or something of that nature. That's when you start to worry. Like
it wasn't triple coverage; it was single coverage. Xavier Howard had a great game.
Bad decisions. He makes bad decisions sometimes. He plays really sloppy football. So you wonder if somebody like Brian Daboll, who was there last year, who kept all of that shit together and clearly rubbed off on Daniel Jones and helped him not play sloppy football, who needs to be in Josh Allen ear to keep him from playing that sloppy football? Because that's the problem. He just played too sloppy. Everything looks like, oh shit, like it's too fucking sporadic.
Fruity Lovecraft. Yeah, we would have put Brett Favre on watch.
Facts.
Yeah.
Brett Favre would have been on big watch.
Brett Favre
might still be on watch.
Yeah,
right?
for real. I mean,
Brett
they're
Favre,
especially when he went to New York.
Yeah, they're gunslingers and they take chances and they make things happen. But like you said, I still want to see him get over the hump at this point. So that's what I'm watching.
What's over the hump?
He got to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he needs to make a Super
Bowl.
Bowl.
I don't want to see that. I'm just hating though.
I don't want to see it. I don't want it to happen.
I don't see how he gets to the Super Bowl.
He can get to the Super Bowl.
Easily be proven wrong.
Yeah.
I just don't see, like, with the way he's playing.
I don't think he get past.
How do you like, especially with like somebody like Patty with Burrow, or I guess those are the only 2 like big elite quarterbacks that we're talking about left. You give them multiple opportunities. Like we got Skylar Thompson, and I don't even think even offensively they didn't even do anything mostly with those possessions. It was mostly the defense that scored or got him in the field goal range at least.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking like, bro, you give Burrow or Patty that opportunity, but it's a wrap. You're losing by 20 at least. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, when are you gonna clean it up? It's the playoffs. Like everybody can excuse the regular season shit. Even I do that. When it's the regular season shit, some of the teams you playing in the regular season that beat you or get you caught up, you're not gonna see them in the playoffs, so you don't have to worry about them. But you had a division game at home.
Yeah. Some people shine on these playoffs. Some people, the further along they get, the more ready they are.
Are these numbers I'm sorry, go ahead, Sheldon.
What numbers is that?
Is this what they did for the season? Josh Allen?
Yeah, I think that is.
And Burrow?
Yeah.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They ask you a question.
What they saying? Go ahead.
Burrow on watch.
Is Burrow on watch?
He said 35 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Burrow, 35 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Is he on watch too?
Has Burrow thrown 5 picks in the last 5 games?
I don't think so.
Did Burrow in the Burrow's wild card game?
Dak Prescott has.
Did he have 4 turnovers? Huh?
Dak Prescott did.
What?
Burrow hadn't played anywhere.
We talking about Burrow. We
But
didn't say Prescott. He
in the
said
Allen
Prescott.
and Burrow case, like he has, Burrow hasn't been anywhere near as sloppy as Josh Allen
That's what
has
I'm trying to
been
say.
in the last 3 weeks. Like
And
Buffalo.
And how many? And how many games has Burrow won in a row, or the Bengals won in a row?
I ain't
It's about 8 or 9
I'm
games,
not subscribing
right?
to that
How many
bullshit.
games the Bills won in a row, y'all? Tell me that.
I'm not subscribing to the Bengals BSU propaganda up here. But
Ain't no
I will
propaganda. I just
say-
be reading stats.
I
These,
will
these,
say-
hey Ken, these niggas be sending me stats, and I'm like, all right, well, let's get context.
I will say that Josh Allen has been really sloppy. And I would be concerned if I were a Buffalo fan that Miami stuck with me until like the last fucking quarter of the game. And I got to go play Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and those boys. Like, nah.
And people ain't talking.
I would
about,
be terrified.
People ain't talking about that Bills secondary, boy.
They've been getting
Because if it wasn't for Tyreek Hill dropping, like they was dropping passes.
Skyler couldn't even get the passes there that they really needed him to get there, and they were still getting cooked. So imagine when you got a nigga like Burrow that's gonna be like,
all I know is I saw a ball hit Tyreek Hill in the hands and the face, and he dropped it. And I'm like, all right, bro, this ain't nobody's game. Moving on. This weekend was a great weekend, Lou, bro.
Game of the week.
A lot of shit happened. This ain't even the game I'm thinking you even talk about, because this brought my. I haven't talked about this team all year long. I've been asking me about this team. I'm like, this is the team I'm distant from this year, because I didn't want nothing good to happen to him, because I wanted the top pick.
You wanted to pick,
so I can we can move on from this nigga.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bills on an 8-game winning streak too.
Not as long as the Bengals. And I was hoping these niggas would move on. I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they didn't. Because this nigga proved that he at least deserves a Geno Smith contract extension.
Oh my God.
I ain't say I want it for a long-term deal.
That song say don't.
But Danny proved that he throws fucking dimes. All right. Ken.
Stop, man. You want to talk about being fair to quarterbacks and having
Minnesota?
the same narrative.
Hold on.
The switch that I've seen for Daniel Jones in the national media from last week to this week, or even years previous to after that playoff game, is fucking ridiculous.
Hold on. Was that the only upset that we saw this weekend?
It ain't even.
I didn't watch this game either.
Was that not the biggest upset of the weekend?
No, everybody
A
knew
six.
Everybody knew the
They play
Giants was
Minnesota.
gonna win that game.
That's an upset.
That's
bro.
still an upset. Are you
By
serious?
seeding,
That's
Kirk
a Super
Cousins.
Bowl pick.
Did you pick the Giants to win that game, Shelton?
Did we? I don't
No.
know.
Don't say did we. Did you pick the
I
Giants
mean,
to win
did
that game?
I? I mean, did I?
I didn't.
I think he did.
You picked Minnesota. No, you act like
I
you
did?
nigga. We own it's the wild card games.
I might
Ain't
have.
that many games to pick from. You knew the Giants and the Minnesota was playing.
Are you surprised?
I'm asking you, did you pick
No, I'm asking. Are you surprised though
what?
that Kirk Cousins laid an egg?
No, I'm asking you, did you pick the Giants to win that game?
Probably not. But
Okay, so you picked Minnesota to win thinking they was gonna win.
yeah,
So if you
based
thought
off-
a team that was
based off-
going to win lost, that's an upset,
based
right?
off my picks. But once again, that's out of the games that would have happened if something had lost. If any of these teams had been upset, this was the least one out of all of them that I would expect it. Who expected Minnesota to do anything other than be Minnesota?
I did.
In the beginning of the year, I'm giving you a pass on that because you started the season that way.
Yeah.
But knowing Kirk Cousins and knowing
I knew
what
that
Minnesota
wasn't gonna
does,
happen,
this is still Minnesota, right?
Then why did you pick them to win the game?
That's what I'm trying to
Because they
figure
was a
out.
home team. I was just trying to.
You saying all this
Play
shit,
the
but it
game.
don't make sense the way you picked it then.
Yeah, but let's not act like though. The point of this is Daniel Jones is okay. He's not fucking
He ain't elite.
hell no.
He ain't elite. I was
I know
gonna say
that.
they going too far with the elite. I was like, the only time he elite
Bruh,
is if
like,
you stand next to
I
Eli
heard
with
niggas
an
talking
E and
about
a
top
T and an
five. I heard niggas saying he done broke the elite status of quarterbacks when just a year ago they were wondering if he even deserved an extension. Like
I'm
that
trying
was
to
like
get in my-
it's crazy.
Yeah, they bugging, bro. Watch when next year he gonna have a shitty ass game.
I don't care what he do next weekend.
That's all that matters. He got that first one out.
He was dotting niggas. I ain't never seen that nigga play like
That was
that.
the best game
bro.
of his life.
I was like,
That was the
bro,
best game of his
after
life.
that second drive, it was 14-7. I was like, this nigga ain't
That was the best
stopping.
game of his life.
That was the best
Absolutely.
game of his life. But should the Giants resign Danny Dimes and Saquon, or just one of the two?
Just one of the two.
I would say neither one.
Why would you say that?
Saquon,
Saquon looks good though.
he's been healthier.
Did you
this
see
year.
that spin move he hit
He's
on that
been
nigga, bro?
healthier this
He
year.
looked different.
So
He the best back in the league when healthy.
It ain't no other running
when
back
healthy,
do
he's
what
the
he
best
do.
back in the league.
No, he's not.
He's the best back in the
Ain't
league.
no other running
when
back
healthy.
look like that, Ken. Like when he healthy and he doing like what
Bro,
he
y'all
did with
be-
those
I swear
spins.
He
y'all
the
y'all
best
be-
back in the league.
Y'all be
when
overrated
healthy.
Saquon,
Dude is
bro.
different, man. He's different.
Saquon, what I used to call him, Saquon Busley. He could stay on the field. If he stays healthy for another year, you probably need to re-up him. But Daniel Jones, absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Hell no.
Nah, I'm not re-signing Daniel Jones.
You got to. I say 3 year, $50 million
I'm not
guaranteed.
giving him a
No,
dime.
man, don't do that. To
When did you
yourself.
change and do that?
3. I'm just saying, bro. QBs. We've seen that QBs do not grow on trees, bro.
And
We've
Daniel
seen
Jones,
a lot of niggas do a lot of shit to get a QB, and they be like, "This ain't it."
Daniel Jones is growing trees.
He's won a playoff game. That's more than most niggas. He's won more playoff games than Jalen Hurts.
Imagine what he
that
could
ain't
do.
saying nothing. That's,
Imagine
what is
what
that
Brian
saying?
Davis.
Jalen Hurts
could
has
do.
played the same amount of playoff games as Daniel Jones. One has a dub, one doesn't.
It don't really say.
They
much,
don't say
bro.
nothing.
I'm just saying. It says more than that.
One played Tom Brady. One played Kirk Cousins.
Daniel
First of all,
Jones.
Tom Brady ain't Tom Brady. We
Not-
gonna
not
get to
this
that
Tom
part.
Brady.
We
That
gonna
Tom
get
Brady,
to
bro.
Not this Tom Brady.
Last
That
year,
Tom Brady.
was probably the same Brady. He still led the league, damn near led the league in passing yards, if not already this season. So it's probably the same Tom Brady. He just ain't. If we just know that if he ain't got a stacked team, he ain't shit. So you're saying sign one or the other, not both, as far as Daniel Jones and Saquon.
Because they got to sign your boy too, though. The defensive tackle, like the best defensive tackle they got.
You talking about Dexter Lawrence?
Yeah, he up too. And he
I
gonna
thought he-
want bread.
Is he up?
I would sign. Yeah, he up. I would sign him first.
Oh no, he's
And
a monster.
then
Yeah,
I would
he
decide he's the best player on their defense, and that's the reason that they were able to beat the Vikings, getting that pressure up the middle. But yeah, one of the two, because I will have to have Lawrence back. I gotta have him, and
You take the running back or the QB?
I take Daniel Jones. Because I mean, QBs. I mean, I can get a running back anyway. Even though, to Ken's point, Barkley is different, but I mean, a serviceable running back, I can get 3 of them in the draft, bro.
You ain't getting no Barkley.
Now you ain't getting no Barkley, but I don't need one either. Like that's just a luxury to have. You know what I'm saying? It's like heated seats or some shit. The car's still gonna drive, whether you in, whether they in there or not, bro. So
You signing both or just one of these?
Just one. I'm not signing Daniel Jones for no reason.
you signing? Would you give Barkley $10 million a year?
Not that much.
That's what he want.
Yeah, he
I'll
ain't
give
gonna
him
get
a-
that.
I'll give
Look
him
at
a-
Ezekiel Elliott contract.
I give him no.
Yeah,
I won't
he
give him
ain't
that
gonna
much.
get
I give
that.
him
That
a
was a
3-year, $30 million fully guaranteed.
Yeah.
Zeke make $12 million a year. I believe.
That was
I'll give him a
mistake.
3-year, $30 million fully guaranteed.
It was a mistake.
Yeah.
And I was a Zeke fan.
But he looked like
was too.
Zeke. Zeke looked like he was
It's-
worth
you
that
gotta
3
account-
years when he
hey,
signed.
If we keep it a full being, we gotta account for injuries. And he played well. If
I'm
he
not
won the
giving
playoff
Saquon
games,
Barkley that
I'll give him
contract.
$10 million a year for 3 years, fully
Yeah.
guaranteed.
I mean, those injuries may have reduced
It may have
the
helped
tread
him.
on
Yeah,
those tires.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
So that's why,
sure.
like, we get an extra 3 years out of you. You get your money,
Mhm.
but then you
Now,
still get an opportunity.
I
to
would
get
incentivize it.
Huh?
I would incentivize it. Put games on it.
Them two need to be a package deal. If they were smart, they need to get together and figure out how both of them can stay there because they help each other. Daniel Jones wouldn't be that good if he didn't have somebody like Saquon Barkley.
What do
like
you?
that.
But see, that's my thing. Daniel Jones ain't that good.
No, he's not.
So that's why.
But he looked
that's
good
my-
this year. Like this game, the stats. If you looked at
He
what
looked
he
good in
did,
stretches.
Yeah.
He,
That's what I'm
this
saying.
season he played like
so
a
you would
top
think
15
in an
QB.
off season, you would think in an off season though he would be able to
This season he
mold
played
that
like
a
a
little
top
bit.
15 at number 15.
No, he's under that to me.
He
I
over- he
still
above.
think-
Ain't
he
that many-
top
ain't that many
15.
niggas
It
worse
wasn't that
than
many
him.
good
I'ma have
quarterbacks.
to
Yeah,
go look.
don't
I'ma
do
have to
that.
go look.
It wasn't that many good quarterbacks this year. He would be
He-
15th
I don't
or
know.
16th. He like right there.
22 touchdowns, 5
He had better
picks,
year than Kyler Murray.
over
right?
3,000 yards
Yeah.
passing.
Yeah, he's better than Kyler Murray. Now.
Yeah.
That's who I was most disappointed in. But
Lou, so will the Vikings finally pull the cord on this Kirk Cousins arrangement?
They gonna just wash, rinse, and repeat, dude. They think they need to get some better stuff going on defense. I think they found a great coach. What's his name? I can't even remember his name right now. But I think he's a great coach. Kirk Cousins is gonna be what he's gonna be. Hopefully, you thinking if you're the Vikings 1 year, you catch lightning in a bottle, and maybe Kirk Cousins is not bad enough where you can go on a Super Bowl run with him because he may be the 17th quarterback. So if I got the 17th best quarterback and I can make my defense better and I got a good coach and I got the best receiver in the league, I got a great running back. Let's try this again. Let's add a couple pieces, try to fix a couple things, fix some schemes, and let's take it back. I wouldn't go get a whole new quarterback and kick Kirk Cousins to the curb now. Because that would be the biggest thing in changing.
He has 1 more year left and he's done.
Is that on
I'm
his
looking
con-
at his
is that on his
contract now on
contract?
sporttrack.com.
Mhm.
So yeah, his base salary next year is 10 mil. $6 million signing bonus, $20 million. So it's a wrap.
Kirk.
Yeah, it's a wrap. So they'll bring him back next year because they have to. This is his show and prove this year, but he's done, bro. Like, you win all these games, you play as good. You look like one of the best teams in the country. Man, you look like you knew what the hell you were talking about. And then the Vikings hit the playoffs, and then it made them look like you didn't know what you were talking about. I'm not knocking you because I had Green Bay going to the Super Bowl too, right. So they didn't make the playoffs. But I'm just saying.
Justin Jefferson had 25 yards the first half, only 22 yards second half, something like that.
Crazy like that. Yeah.
No touchdowns or nothing. And this is back-to-back games he did that, right? Because in the Packers game, he got locked up by Jair. I don't know what he did the week after that, but then now this playoff game, he get locked up too.
What, are you saying that's a knock on him?
I don't know if it's a knock on him or knock on the scheme, because Kirk Cousins didn't even look his way for that last pass, which is egregious. But at the same time, bro, I don't know. They was throwing to him early in that game, and he wasn't, and they was giving him cushion because I guess they didn't want to get beat deep. So I don't know what the game plan was.
They started doubling him after that first drive. Like, they put him in the bracket thing they kept showing where he had one man inside, one outside, one.
So you trusting the Giants DBs over Justin Jefferson when it comes to the final play?
I think it's a lot easier to stop a superstar receiver than it is any other position. Like, I can figure out a good scheme to get somebody like Jefferson out the game, especially if the nigga back there throwing the ball is average, like Kirk Cousins. If I got an elite, that's one of those elite quarterbacks in those plays that we talk about where Josh Allen frustrates us because he's so sloppy, but then you see him throw that behind dude ear hole where the other guy wasn't looking, he turned around and is right there. Kirk Cousins don't do that. Justin Jefferson need that when he get double teamed in the playoff game. So it's just easy to box him out.
If you got your number one receiver, bro, you got to throw in the ball. And the coach got to figure out a way to.
I think.
Yeah, and the coach got to figure out a way to get him the ball, put him in motion, move
He's
him around.
supposed to be an offensive-minded head coach. They've been talking hella shit about defensive minded head coaches and how they don't play. They're not really built for this era of football.
Right.
But there's a lot of offensive-minded head coaches that don't be doing shit, i.e. Josh McDaniels, i.e. Kevin O'Connell. Well, I guess I don't know how you judge the Vikings season because they won over 11 games.
It was a good season.
Yeah,
they won over 11 games, but they didn't do shit in the playoffs.
It's better than they were with Zimmer. They know they got a better coach.
I don't know, because that defense with Zimmer wouldn't have done that, wouldn't have gave up all that points like that.
They wouldn't have been in the playoffs.
Yeah, but Zimmer didn't do much with that team either.
Yeah, he wouldn't even.
When he was there. I mean, Zimmer did beat Brady, didn't he?
Zimmer,
not Brady, but Breeze.
Zimmer went to the championship game, right?
Yeah. He just couldn't. Yeah.
With Diggs. That was Zimmer, right? With Case Keenum.
Right.
So a worse quarterback than
But then he got Cousins, and what did he do with Cousins? I can't remember.
Him and Cousins didn't like each other. Zimmer and Cousins had a
because he knew he was shitball.
That's what it
was. That's what he said.
He knew what he had. But I think the thing is, we were like, oh man, when they get Cousins, man, they're gonna take them over the top. They're gonna win.
I don't know who said that. Somebody. A lot of folks. Somebody was drunk on.
But it was Case. It made sense. Like, I can see why people would think that. When you go from Case Keenum to Kirk Cousins,
it seems like that's supposed to be a bigger step up.
At least enough of a step.
You thought it was right, but you know what? Talent-wise, it always was. It's what between the ears, though. Kirk Cousins never had that, and we always talk about that.
A lot to what we saying about it, and I saw them break this down on ESPN, so I won't take credit for it. I think it was Dan Orlowski, when he was talking about that last play on 4th and 7, whatever it may be. The reason why Kirk Cousins in the league, because it in your mind is set, get the ball out, throw it to that 3-yard out because that's the pass that's there. However, this is the last game of the season, and you need 8 yards.
It's 4th and season.
He couldn't even process. He couldn't even process past that to spin out.
Now you heard what he said.
Stay here for a minute.
He said,
anything. He ain't got the mobility to do so.
He said, bro, I knew I was about to get rocked. So I had to throw the ball.
I would rather get rocked.
He was like, I was about to get sacked. Like, if you look at that play, it's like, bro, that's Lawrence.
Justin Jefferson.
Right. Jefferson was on the left-hand side. Yeah.
Then roll to that side.
Get over there. But the thing is, giving up on 4th and 8. Like, that says a lot about
last time.
You might get a PI.
You saw what happened in the Bills game.
A roughing the passer. Exactly.
Look at the Bills game. You close your eyes and throw it to Jefferson, he made a play.
And that's why
I think that's why we talk about talent. You can live for next week.
Exactly.
You just said it was 4th and season. There is no next.
That's why he's
But
a
his-
regular
like, no,
season
he's saying
quarterback.
His mindset is based
Kirk
off
Cousins is an average dude. I
So
feel like
when you
this
put
is
that
mindset.
pressure on him,
oh well, here you go. Fuck it.
when you
He can't
he
think
plays
like that.
he plays loose in the regular season than he does in the playoffs. He plays more. He
nut
gets
up.
tightened up. Yeah, he
Yeah,
tightens
for
up.
sure.
Question on that play: was that a design boot or he just booted out?
He didn't even boot.
I thought you said he started running.
Nah, he
What
didn't
happened?
boot. I said he should have started running. What they ran was that little Madden play where your tight ends go right there, run 3 yards and stop, and then you got another one that's coming for the first down.
Yeah.
But since the guy came upfield so quick to D-tackle, he just threw it to the tight end on the 3-yard out, as opposed to maybe taking a sack or throwing it out there, maybe hoping the other guy on the next layer catch it. He just threw the 3-yard out
Seeing
on
that the
4th and 7.
The DB was sitting on that route.
It
too.
seemed, it was nothing that would have happened other than 4th and 3.
And now if Hawkinson made a play, that would have been the player of the year.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how you would have made a 9-yard run.
Yeah.
When the DB is
So we got
sitting on-
scared.
But the thing was, he
Yeah,
got
he
scared
got
and just settled for that. It was like,
He
fuck
got
it. Season over.
I
That's
said,
all I had.
said get rid of his ass.
Sorry, folks.
I said get rid of his ass and bring in Tom Brady.
Oh, no.
He been
Hell
stealing.
no.
He been stealing money.
Same thing.
Get
Shit's
rid of
worse.
him. Get rid of him.
Right.
He's so
Justin Jefferson to fight that man.
Tom Brady ain't living in Minnesota. Like,
Hey, he ain't got nothing to go home to.
he ain't going home to
He ain't
Minnesota.
going home.
Damn, the
Oh,
Vikings are
shit.
the look. I'm looking at this. They're I think they're the only double-digit team to lose this weekend, besides the Chargers. But they were
That was
whatever.
a 4 and 5. 4 and 5 is closer.
Yeah.
Speaking of close games, Sheldon, what was the biggest takeaway, or was there any big takeaways from the Ravens versus Bengals game?
The Ravens played better than anybody thought they would have, put it that way. And the biggest takeaway for me is going to be how well that Cincinnati offensive line is going to hold up for Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
That's scary. And coming up against these next two defensive lines you're going to have to face, it's going to be tough. Because if you're going, you about to go down Murder's Row. And it's going to be hard to keep him upright.
Not defensive line wise, but I get what you mean.
Well, when you look at defensively and the pressure that Buffalo likes to put on, then you look at the Chiefs with Chris Jones and those guys. It's tough up front, and it's gonna be tough to keep him up.
What you Lou?
I was surprised that it stayed that close, but like you were saying, that's AFC North football. If I were the Ravens, man, and I seen that, and I was that close with what was out there, I would probably stay in my position as far as moving forward and not giving somebody a lot of guaranteed money. That's what I was thinking.
They should have won that game. They had that game.
They
That
could have
game was
won that
over.
game. And it goes back. The reason why they didn't is what we all have been sitting up here criticizing all season is fucking Harbaugh and your man, they offensive
Greg
coordinator. Like it's boring. It looked like high school football. True, that kept them in the game, but you would think if they had at least one wrinkle, anything innovative, that they might have got a big play.
They were inches away from winning that game.
Yeah.
Inches.
Yeah.
And I literally
Chill out.
mean
It was early in the fourth quarter.
But it don't
man.
speak to how
When
bad
they-
the Bengals. It speaks more so to how.
No, I'm just
good
saying,
the
like
Ravens are.
it was like the first 10 minutes of the game.
I'm saying that though because
But he could
Cincinnati
have caught
didn't get
that
nothing
pass.
else.
At the end, he could have caught the pass at the end and took it to overtime. Then it's anybody's game.
Yeah, but I'm saying at that point in the
But at
game.
the point, it was early in the fourth,
Yeah.
but to that point, Cincinnati didn't score another point on offense.
They did.
So they had an opportunity. What I'm saying is they would have went up 7, and if that defense had played the way it did down the stretch, then we could be talking about a different outcome in that game, and we all would have been sitting up and looking crazy because I damn sure wouldn't have predicted that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was saying a lot for that Ravens team.
That would have been real bad for Lamar had they won that game.
Yeah,
But it's cool that his
he lost all. He would lose all that
Been bad
guarantee
for
money.
Burrow.
It would have been bad for.
I think it would have been. It would have been worse
Huntley,
for Lamar
you're right.
because he ain't getting paid. Burrow at least getting paid. Lamar damn sure ain't
Yeah,
getting
Burrow
paid.
will
They
get his
went-
money either way.
Yeah.
If you're talking about money,
Lamar
it
ain't getting his
matter.
money at all.
Legacy, that's different.
Yeah.
Bro, you can't go to the Super Bowl and then lose to a guy named Huntley. That has 5 touchdowns and 7 interceptions.
So
Something like that.
undrafted free agent.
No, you can't do that, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Especially after you blew him out the last time. Ain't no way. Bengals got lucky. They got lucky, bro.
Hey.
Because I was sitting there watching that game, bro, and I'm like, oh my God. Because I put my phone away, I put my iPad away up because I get the text message. I was like, I don't want to see the results of this game. But I was like, damn, my Apple Watch wasn't buzzing. And then it started buzzing. I was like, oh shit, the Bengals lost. And I'm watching that shit. And I saw Huntley at the goal line. I was like, oh, QB sneak. When that motherfucker knocked that ball out, he ran it back. I was like, you gotta be shitting me. I was like, I can't believe that fucking shit.
That was exactly
and then them motherfuckers started nothing up. Mixon fumbled, dropped the pass, an easy pass.
Mhm.
Jamar Chase dropped the pass that he normally catches. I think there was a sack that happened. I'm like, dang, the Bengals are choking right now. So they got lucky. And then something else happened to give them the ball back. They better be lucky Harbaugh wasn't trying to win that game. Like I said, I don't think he was trying to win that game the way he managed timeout.
Why does he not want to win that game?
Look, like I said in the
Because
chat,
it goes to that boy. If he wins that game, then they got to pay Lamar.
I know, but man, he also saw Huntley throw an interception. He also saw Huntley run the wrong play on a QB sneak.
And he also called him out for that too. I was surprised by that.
Yeah, you got to call him out. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he also saw Huntley. Anytime any damn orange and black coming at him, he started running and just throwing the ball up. You don't want to go to the second round with that, bro. You just want to bow gracefully. You get a pass because you didn't have Lamar. And then people talking about how you guys should pay Lamar. People talking about Lamar should have played. Like Vic calling him out when his own teammates saying this motherfucker walking around limping.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody got his back. The Ravens are in a tough situation.
They are.
They want Lamar back.
Mm-hmm.
The teammates.
Oh, okay. Calais Campbell came out and said some shit too.
Yeah,
JK
bro.
Yeah.
They want him back.
JK, I don't know how to look at JK.
Well, JK was pissed. JK was mad because
he didn't play.
Carries.
That's
what he was mad about.
He wasn't mad Lamar didn't play. He was mad he ain't play.
Yeah, he threw Lamar out there too. And that was cool.
To be fair,
Lamar.
though, he didn't shit on Huntley either. Though. He said Huntley played a hell of a game, and he gave him his flowers before he said if Lamar Jackson was out there, we would have won.
He said, "Oh, he played great."
But yeah, he was his main thing. His main thing was I should have been.
Yeah, he said he's like, I don't know why I wasn't in the game playing more. I feel like when I'm in the game, anything can happen.
He was right.
He was.
He was. J.K. Dobbins was running over everybody. Because at first I was like, man, he can't stay. I don't know if he's gonna be a good back.
Yeah,
but nah, he got it, bro.
And then that goal line play that cost him the game. He thought he should have been in there to get that.
I should have got the
run
ball.
too.
It's like Huntley saw what Trevor Lawrence did on that 2-point conversion and tried to do it himself. Trevor Lawrence is like 6'6" or something like that, which is long as plastic man arms. And the ball was that much closer. It didn't take much. It was just dumb, bro. It was just dumb as hell. But again, the Bengals didn't do shit on offense. They had 2 chances to put that game away.
Yep.
And fumbled the bag.
And it still came down to the last play of the game. So,
and a guy could have caught it.
He could have caught it. It was right there.
Could have caught it.
I was also thinking, I was like, man, these motherfuckers gonna go for 2. If they would have
caught it, they would have went for 2 and won that game. I was thinking
they always say go for 2 on the road.
I was thinking the same thing.
Go for the tie at home. The biggest takeaway was what Sheldon said to me was the offensive line. We've lost the offensive lineman in the last 3 weeks. At least one.
Damn.
And at least I think so. And then Jonah Williams got his kneecap dislocated, so he's questionable for the next game. Burrow has proven that he can win games with a shitty offensive line. But like I said, at the stat earlier this season, if Burrow gets sacked more than 3 times a game, he's more likely gonna lose that game. So I was surprised that they won that game because, like y'all said, they probably should have lost that game. But since we already established that as long as you get the dub, that's all that matters.
That's true.
And then it don't matter. I'm moving on to the Buffalo.
That's it.
I'm moving on to Buffalo. So
that's right.
Yeah, they won a game.
And y'all shouldn't be scared of that game. Other than the fact the line, you shouldn't, because you had control of that game, the last game you played against Buffalo, and we already said what Josh Allen is up to. So
I don't know, because y'all said he played to his competition, so we'll see. My main thing is the pass rush. It's all about, I need Burrow to have time, and also I need the run game to get better. Our run game is not been well over the last few weeks, and that's the balance to our team. That's the balance that opens up everything, because we know Burrow can dice up motherfuckers, but if you're expecting the pass, like I don't want to be like Tom Brady where we got to throw 66 times to even have a reasonable offense. Like we need to run the ball. So that's my thing with the offensive line, not only protecting Burrow but setting up the run game.
And it's the playoffs, man. Sometimes you got to win these ugly, rounded out games.
It's the third time they played together too.
Yeah, so they blew them out last time. They probably had a chip on their shoulder and stuff like that. Win or go home. So it's a lot that goes into that. But that's how that game looked. And these games look different every damn fucking Sunday. This game next time they might be flying, scoring points left and right. We got some super chats related to this one. Stephen A. Spliff. Need Nick to critique Burrow's performance versus the Ravens and getting outplayed by Tyler Huntley as if it was Herbert playing the game.
Why would I? They got the win. He had a touchdown passing, a touchdown rushing, over 200 yards passing. He did what he needed to do to win the game. Those are Tom Brady stats to me.
What about him getting outplayed?
Getting outplayed?
Yeah, by
outplayed is losing the game. You know what I'm saying? Outplayed is losing. Trevor Lawrence outplayed Justin Herbert, who won that game. Trevor Lawrence. So that's what we go with.
I know even if they would have scored that touchdown, Shelton, I've just seen Burrow just turn.
Bro, I've seen.
Bro.
Thank you.
I
was not worried about that game,
but I don't like.
But I'm still with you though.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did. It's just the fact that the defense was playing a lot better, and that line was getting pressure. That was the only thing that I was.
I'll say this.
I was like, it's gonna be tough.
That's the best. That's the best defense the Bengals will play for the rest of the playoffs. If they go that far deep into the playoffs, that's the best defense they'll play until they get to the Super Bowl. If they get to that Super Bowl.
Had one.
The Bills defense ain't that
tripping,
good. The Bills defense ain't that good, and Kansas City defense damn sure ain't that good.
I wanted to read another one since we just finished this topic. Vibes and stuff. I'm battling COVID. Get well, brother, or person. But still wanted to show my support. Shout out to my Giants for eliminating Spike's sorry ass Super Bowl pick. Hostile.
Hey, vibes and stuff, man. I hope you
just
feel
like
better,
a Giants fan. Hostile.
Both of your Super Bowl picks lost the wild card.
Yeah, both of them.
In ugly fashion.
Prayers up, get well,
At least
man.
both of them
Get
made
well.
it to the
Get well.
Super Bowl.
At least you
Thought
ain't got
Bricks.
that. I mean, it's still killing folks, but that OG, bro, was
It was
taking
different.
motherfuckers
That was
out. Last one, I think related to this topic. 1 out of 10, 1 to 10. How confident are you that the Bengals are going to go to Buffalo and win with everything that happened? NFL would love for Buffalo to go to a Super Bowl.
Well, the NFL is trying to literally make shit.
They're
trying to get. They said that they changed the rules twice in 2 years, 2 to 3 years, for Buffalo to be like, all right, we're gonna make sure y'all get something. We're gonna make sure y'all have home field advantage by canceling this game and not making it a tie or anything, so the Bengals don't get it, whatever it is.
You said the opening kickoff looked like Make-A-Wish.
Bruh, they are trying to make. They made the AFC Championship game if Buffalo wins. It's gonna be in Atlanta.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's like, bruh, are you serious? Like they're doing all this to make sure Josh Allen is the white boy that they want to see.
They need another Tom Brady.
And Burrow's right there.
Because he hanging around with too many niggas.
Yeah, he be with the black too much, bro.
That's all it is.
You see how he dressed? They say he light skinned in Cincinnati. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. Like
Joe Blowro.
Hey.
But last one I'll read. Cincy's defense is the MVP these past 2 playoffs.
Yes.
Cool.
Lou Amaruno, I think I'm pronouncing his name right or not. Either way, the defensive coordinator for Cincinnati is going to be a head coach either this offseason or next season. He should be at least.
Is he black?
Him and D'Amico Ryan.
D'Amico Ryan.
Yeah. Best defensive coordinators in the league right now.
Is Lou black?
Yeah,
he might get a job.
Moving on to the game of the week.
And I got everybody else super chats if I haven't read it, so don't worry.
Game of the week. Before we get to these weekly picks, I'm drinking today because
it's a celebration.
It's a celebration because I told y'all in the chat, y'all was quiet in the chat during that Cowboys game. Y'all ain't want to say. Lou was barely saying anything too.
Yeah, Lou was gone.
He was like,
I felt bad because I was talking in the chat, and I'm like, dang, Lou just because I don't have a stake in it outside of Brady. But I know how it is as a fan. I'm like, Lou ain't trying to hear shit. I gotta say,
bruh. I was in there. I just wanted to be quiet because I'm just like, I was enjoying the moment. I was enjoying the game because to see Brady like that throwing picks in the red zone.
It was wonderful.
It was gorgeous.
419 pass attempts. He ain't thrown one.
He ain't never thrown a pick in the red zone with the Bucs.
One, bro. Had a
he
chance
ain't never
to
beat
the
the Cowboys. I mean, he ain't never lost to the Cowboys.
Never lost to the Cowboys. No, he ain't.
But it was on Martin Luther King Day of all days. Black man, hey, Ken, I had a dream. Dak had a dream. One day that Dak will get his respect that he deserves, and that if it wasn't for that goddamn kicker, I called that game. I said 35-14. Listen to the tape. I said 35-14. Y'all laughed at me, even in the chat. I said this motherfucker.
Right.
I said this Tampa Bay team has not scored 30 points all season, and all they do in Dallas is score 30. They not doing shit.
And that let him hear about it every time he scored every touchdown, bro.
Yeah.
He was.
I heard it from Shelton too. Them first 3 drives, he was like, "Oh, this ain't looking good, boy." You know, Shelton hating ass. He come out early, and when the nigga play it
How he gets y'all watching this?
Yeah. What else would we be
it's
watching?
Monday Night Football.
Y'all watching?
We all anybody see this? We all got the same off day.
No, all I said, I mean, who Dallas should have definitely won that game. But them first 2 drives, I said, was
did you pick Dallas to win that game?
Of course,
everybody did.
Of course, I did. Especially with the way everybody was talking.
Did you pick Dallas to win that game?
Yes.
You said yes. You picked Dallas to win that game.
Yes.
You're lying on air right now.
I picked
Tampa Bay to win that game.
Damn, you did.
You're the only one that picked Tampa Bay to win that game.
I did.
For the tape,
Yes.
I think you did.
Dang, I don't remember that.
Obviously,
Because you was talking about the Washington win. And you were talking about how they looked.
he was talking shit as usual.
Yeah, that
Damn,
could be
you
the case.
did. I could have swore you picked the guy.
Nah,
Dang,
I
thought
was
too.
surprised, Ken, that you didn't pick because you said it. He was like,
Well, he
Tampa's
wasn't
gonna
gonna pick
you
Brady.
said Tampa's gonna win this game,
I
but
never
I'm
picked
going with
Brady.
the black man.
I
Yeah.
never
I remember
picked
that,
Brady,
yeah.
bro. Yeah,
The media messed that up for me though, because everybody
Nah,
was on it.
nigga,
When
don't
everybody
blame
jump
the
on that,
media, nigga.
you know when everybody
We,
jump on that train.
Kim,
it's over with.
how we introduced this show? No politics, no
Yeah,
BS. I'm saying
No
no filter,
filter.
nah, nigga.
I
Don't
saw
bring
it.
that
I
shit.
saw it all week though. I said, "Oh, that's gonna kill him," because you know how everybody be predicting a victory for the. So that make the team that probably not paying attention. It make you pay attention.
Everybody was picking Tampa Bay.
Yeah, so that's bulletin board, and everybody was saying it. Oh, all that stuff. Yeah, I was like, man, they done.
Oh, so Dak was listening to the chatter.
He damn sure
'Cause
was.
They asked him. He didn't listen.
Lamb
You
lie.
know, just
Dak seemed like the type to
He's
sit
nice.
like that,
That's a real nigga.
watching first
He
take.
said, nigga, shit. He was like, hey, look, I heard a lot of niggas be talking out there shit. You know what I'm saying? But if you build it, when you in this building, you know how to,
That's
cancel
it.
out the noise.
That's it.
And how would you know they talking if you want to listen?
Right.
motherfucker?
Because Jerry Jones said that shit to us.
Somebody told his
Somebody
ass.
said it to
Yeah.
us.
And I'm like, all that chatter about an upset.
But
You
Dak
don't, don't do all that to certain teams.
That was
I don't
amazing.
think
game.
I've ever seen Dak play that well
He
played
played
awesome.
Dak's best game.
in a minute,
in
if
his
not
career.
ever. Since his rookie year.
That might have been his best game in his career.
Yeah, it was. It was. He played a
5
hell of a
touchdowns.
game.
5
Yeah.
touchdowns.
And he
That
was
all
damn near
fourth
perfect.
down,
All the reads was right. All the plays was called right.
that fourth down sneak to the touch.
Mhm.
Early, that was First of all, we gotta give Mike McCarthy some credit too
For what?
I did.
For what?
for being ballsy to make that play
Yes.
call.
On the fourth down?
That was early in the
Yes.
game. That
After
set the
Brady
tone.
scored,
That
Brady
was,
just
that was
scored too,
aggressive.
bro.
That was aggressive.
set the
I
tone.
ain't mad at Mike McCarthy. Kellen Moore had a hell of a game.
Oh, okay.
Kellen Moore had a hell of a game.
Mike, you call
Dak
like
had a hell of a
You call it
game.
like you see him, man.
Yeah, I'm calling like I said. Mike McCarthy
Wow.
still got stuff to prove.
When it comes to quarterbacks, it happens fast.
It does.
You come in the next season, next thing you know, you can't play anymore.
Mhm.
It happens every time. It happened to Breeze. It happened to
Dude,
Peyton,
Manning,
bro. And now Brady,
Cam Newton. It happened.
Cam Newton, Brady come back, bro, and now he's missing everybody.
to Russell Wilson.
Yeah, like on one play, I was surprised Mike Evans didn't cuss him out. Mike Evans was going in another direction, and Tom Brady threw it over here.
Troy Aikman's so shady. Troy Aikman was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, it was just so shady how he was talking about how Tom Brady was just off on the reads. Like you said, well, Mike Evans was just all the way on the left side, and Tom Brady was throwing it right.
Oh, I was listening to the Brady, the Manning brothers.
cast.
Yeah, they was your boy Prime was on there.
You said my boy. Hit your boy. Hit your
In
boy.
all white. But yeah, I like hearing them talk about the game, man. They be calling everything out, man.
Peyton does
Hey,
great
Peyton
job.
was
Peyton's
hot.
a beast at
Over that kicker shit.
Man,
He said,
that shit was
You
real.
could tell anytime somebody missed a kick when he was playing, he was like, nigga, don't ever look at my way again, nigga.
Because I think he was like, why are y'all even going for it? Oh shit. And then the PI, no, the roughing the passer, all of them were pissed off about that shit.
And then Emmitt Smith, I'll tell you this when we was off air. Emmitt Smith, bro, I was telling Ludus, I ain't never seen this nigga. I didn't know he had a phone. I didn't know he knew what social media was about. This nigga doing selfie videos talking about some.
Emmitt Smith was on TikTok.
Like why we playing the kicker? You know what I'm saying? Why we even got this motherfucker on the team?
And the thing about it is he can kick. Go ahead.
Y'all was gonna say they looking for a kicker today, huh?
No, he can.
They
He's
shouldn't.
actually a good kicker.
They shouldn't. That was his.
That was the best thing that Mike McCarthy did, was continue to let him just figure that the fuck out before next week. Because if he missed the last one last week too. Like going in, the last kick that we had in Washington, he missed that one too. So he missed that
5
one,
in a row.
5 in a row.
God.
So Mike McCarthy actually did a good job to keep rolling them out there if they wasn't gonna cut him, because they said today, like I was reading the little blogs and shit, they said they're not gonna cut him because they don't have time. They got to get. They said what they only getting on the flight in 2 days to go.
NFL fucked them up.
Well, okay, so because I think I had him on my fantasy team.
Mm-hmm. He missed with 3 all season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So why would they cut him?
He was like 138.
They wouldn't. They're not gonna cut him. They said he's good. They just want to make sure Mike McCarthy kept rolling him out there to make sure that shit got out of his system.
He can't do that next week.
Oh,
Man,
this weekend.
That's gonna be terrifying.
Because you think about it, these games come down to field goals at
Yeah.
times, and you playing San
You don't
Francisco,
need them
you're gonna
against
need
San
every
Francisco,
point. You're gonna
bro.
need every extra point. You're gonna need every field goal you can get. So if
I
you
hope
having issues,
it's gonna come down. That's how the NFL works. It's gonna come down to a kick.
Yeah, and the thing about it, because watching that game, those are that's the type of shit that happens for Brady. Like,
and he come back at the end, and you like, how the fuck?
Because you felt like that the whole time too. I felt like that.
Like
I thought
4
that too.
is
I was scared.
insane. 4 is insane.
That's insane. That at that point,
that's
I'm looking
crazy.
at anger, the punter. Like, you might have to get out here and kick this.
Well, we just gonna go for 2.
Yeah.
Because that, and the only reason why I think he let him go because they didn't score past 6 points until the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So it's like
You got to make one.
You got to.
McCarthy probably look like, bro, you got to make one of them, bro.
What
Yeah,
if he
it
missed?
was a beautiful game.
That's it for Brady.
I was gonna say, well, where's Brady going after he leaves the Bucs? Because he ain't staying.
He definitely can't go home. Ain't home to go to.
West home.
He's
Well, I seen his wife with about damn near all the niggas out here, but his wife is getting her groove back.
Yes, sir. He gonna be a Raider next year, I think.
You think go to
Raiders.
Vegas?
Mm-hmm.
They said Vegas, the Jets,
They ain't gonna do
or
shit, bro.
Miami.
Yeah, and since Miami is saying Tua's gonna be back, unless Tua retires,
He want to
And
go
he'll be a
somewhere warm
Dolphin.
though. I think if he goes to the Raiders,
If I'm the Vegas Raiders, I don't want Tom Brady.
Raiders, he got a dome for half his games. He go to L.A.
Hell no.
He also goes to.
I would take Tom Brady.
What am I doing if I'm the Raiders and I get Tom Brady with like? Y'all think Tom Brady can take the Raiders to a Super Bowl?
To be honest,
win more than
to
6
be
games?
honest, I think
That
that
ain't the goal.
yeah. To be, well, I mean, the thing about it is we do got to look at the fact that he threw for a ton of yards, and you got the best receiver. And the biggest thing of all, he's gonna put butts in the seats. I think it's more
That he
business
will
than it
be.
is
Okay, good point.
football. You know what I'm saying?
What I was thinking, if I were the Raiders, and this probably sounds crazy,
You go for Aaron Rodgers.
no, since Carr is going to be gone and you got that cap space, why wouldn't they trade for Lamar?
He ain't got no.
And why
picks.
wouldn't the Ravens get Carr and switch up their offense?
Well, to me, Lamar. Well, based off what I keep hearing, the Raiders ain't got that much money.
The Raiders can do it, but you can do the sign and trade with the franchise. So if I'm the Raiders and I can get on the phone with the Ravens and say, hey, sign him for the $40 million and we'll take the trade.
I don't think they got the picks for it because they didn't give up all those picks for Devontae.
I don't know
They
about
did.
that.
They gave a lot.
But
of
if they
shit
do
for
a sign and trade, they don't have to have no picks. I don't guess.
Yeah, but that's if. What are you signing them to? And do you have the cap
franchise.
space? No, I'm saying-
You sign for the franchise tag, which would be like $40 million. So the Raiders would have to pay that. I don't know what the Ravens would get back.
too.
And Josh McDaniels. If I were the Raiders, I would want Lamar Jackson.
I gotta look at the money. I don't know if they got enough money for that. If they do, then maybe.
But if it's under the
But
franchise tag, they don't have to
you
have
do
the money.
But
for
you're
it, is
doing
what
all
I'm
that
saying.
shit for
For a
1 year.
year.
He should go to the Jets.
Who?
Tom Brady.
They
I
need
can
a
see
quarterback.
See that?
They do. That would be great. That would be more. If I were the Jets, I would do it before the
But does he
Raiders.
want to go? Well, I keep hearing that he wants to stay somewhere warm because he old. He don't want to be in the cold like
New
that.
York
No.
City? Tom Brady?
Yeah,
that-
but you
that
playing
would- that
you
would-
playing in
break.
you playing in New York, Boston, and Buffalo more times out of the year than not. And you only going to Miami every now and then.
because Lamar gonna be a Falcon.
They are not getting Lamar, bro.
I hope he is a Falcon.
That won't work.
They got rid of, bro. That's their
Get
quarterback.
rid of their boy.
I don't
But
know
that would
about
be good for as
I give up those. I give up 2 first-round picks and 2/3 for Lamar.
I seen rid of too. Lamar Vic 2.0 here.
Yeah, that would be.
And you
Yeah,
got
them
Drake
how
London.
the-
You
them
got
how the
Drake London.
city was with Vic.
This
You got
city would go crazy.
Drake
for
London
Lamar
and
Jackson.
Kyle
And
Pitts.
Kyle Pitts,
Just
too.
signed some free agents on the defensive line, offensive line.
This city would go
You
crazy.
good. And
for
the
Lamar.
team already play hard.
You see when he playing in Baltimore, he ain't playing with shit there.
This
He already
team-
got an upgrade by going to
This
Atlanta.
team would go crazy. For
He
Lamar.
should go home.
And
Smith
they'll,
a good
they'll
coach,
win
too.
the division easy because the Bucks ain't gonna be shit once Brady leaves. Carolina's Carolina, and New Orleans is New Orleans.
That's why I think Carolina may be a hot coaching job. Like if it may be a sleeper for Peyton or Kellen Moore may go there because ain't no quarterbacks in the division now, and I got a high pick. So I can go in, get my quarterback, and I'm in a division where ain't no other quarterbacks. I got a pretty easy way to the playoffs.
So is Quinn going to Baltimore?
Quinn.
Yeah.
Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
No, I think he's gonna go. They were talking about West Coast somewhere. I just saw that he was interviewing.
He's interviewing in Baltimore too. I mean,
but not for head coaching
Indianapolis.
job.
Not Baltimore.
Yeah,
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis. That's what I'm
I'm
talking about.
tripping.
Midwest. That's what I was
I'm
talking
talking
about.
about Baltimore coach.
I think he may go to Indianapolis, and I think that
That's right,
Kellen
man.
Moore may leave too and go somewhere.
He just got to just get it up, bro. Why would you want to play at 46 now?
Yeah, I would give it up too. If I'm
It Brady,
Brady,
Brady.
Because he can't go home, Cam, like
he
you
can't
said.
go
I already done blew up his
Once he goes home and realizes I ain't got shit else to do but to deal with my
He already
ragged ass
tried
kid.
that. He did.
Yeah, he went too much. Like, I don't even like these kids.
But they ain't there no more. Like you, and you know, just like somebody said in the chat, you did all that just to have an 8-9 season and to look like trash. Like that's the last we're gonna remember of you.
And that's why he wants to come back. Because he does not want that to be the end.
And then when you lose again, then what?
I was just about to say what happens.
Because it's gonna happen.
It's
He
gonna
next year
have
too.
He's gonna have to have his Drew Brees mode.
like we talked about Roy Jones, Mike Tyson, and all those guys. Those guys don't know when to quit.
It's time for Brady second.
Brady didn't look good, and he didn't look like he was interested in playing either.
He did.
Yeah, it looked like it was too hard for. It's never looked hard really for him, and it looked hard.
Did y'all see the way? Like
Pause.
I didn't see him even. Like I there was one turn up when he drove down and scored that. No, I don't even think they scored on that. No, they did. Julio. But after that, he was pretty much listless. He was listless the whole game.
Let me ask y'all this about that team. Now, what's the biggest factors for that team? Is Brady the reason why they look that bad to you? Byron Leftwich got fired.
No, the line is the reason they were looking that bad because it
started at the beginning.
Jensen got hurt at the beginning of the
Killed
season.
it.
Then the tackle got hurt, and another tackle was out. So they were playing with bums up front all year.
But I thought
That's
it was
the
I
primary
ain't gonna
source
say
because
what
they
I
couldn't
think
run
it
the
is.
ball. They couldn't run the ball, and not being able to run the ball, everybody was playing back. What'd you say?
What you think it is, Shelton? I ain't gonna say it.
Ty Bowles.
Damn, I ain't gonna say it, bro. We just
It's
came
Ty
off
Bowles.
MLK Day, bro.
You wouldn't bring him back next season?
Who, Ty Bowles?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I was mad at Ty Bowles when he said him being black didn't matter. So
That's true.
from
Oh
that
yeah, I
point-
forgot
from that
about
point forward.
He sacrificed Byron Leftwich. I'm pretty sure they
He
said,
did.
No,
hey,
he
look,
didn't. No, he
both
didn't.
of y'all can leave or you can leave.
Nah, it wasn't the case. They said that they actually wanted to fire Byron Leftwich after the bye, but he kept him on staff
Because
he
they
knew
said
it.
that.
Later on in the
He
season,
needed a scapegoat.
He needed a scapegoat. We're not gonna fire him now because at the end of the year, y'all gonna be looking to
This
fire me.
the same motherfucker that was calling plays during the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah,
Leftwich.
Leftwich is good.
So yeah, he
He
definitely.
just
He was supposed to get the
then
Jaguars
what's the one
job.
thing that changed this year?
Ty Bowles.
And
I think Ty Bowles
where did I
knows
hear
that.
this on?
AB?
It was something I was listening to. They said that it was confirmed that Brady got Arians fired and sent to the front
Said he didn't
office.
want to work with him no more.
Mm.
And they said Arians comes to practice and stuff every day. Like he still
He-
wants to
he
be a
always
part
be
of the
around.
team.
He's still a
He
consultant.
want to be a part of the team. It's just Brady didn't want him there.
Which is crazy because this man won your Super Bowl, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, I missed
looking
that
at the
story when
wrong
I
man
heard it.
that
I was
won the
like,
Super
damn,
Bowl.
why would you want this guy to go? And then, but then you get Ty Bowles, and now what? You know, so
Ty Bowles ain't black. He Ty Bowles.
He just Ty Bowles.
that's crazy. I didn't know he said that.
He wasn't saying that. That's what you remember him saying
Yeah,
that?
do
remember he
not
said it
remember
didn't
that, bro.
matter.
I thought I
he
sent
said
you
it
that
didn't
article.
matter.
I had to see you, man. He
the
said-
representation because they asked him about him coaching against another black head coach, and he was like, "Man, I don't see color."
Yeah, because they said,
matter.
how do you feel about black coaches getting opportunity
Yeah.
or something like that? And he was like, man, it don't matter.
It's bigger than that.
Yeah, he said, I don't even see color. It was real bad. It was almost as bad as Hubert Davis and his
It's
Like-
right
Oh, when he
there.
introduced himself at North Carolina.
Yeah,
It's
it
right
was
there.
it
Boy,
felt like that for
Him
me.
and Hubert Davis.
So ever
definitely.
since then, I can see Ty Bowles, that stupid looking face when he keep making that face.
Mhm.
I'm like, man, that's bad.
Weekly picks. We all did pretty well. Ken, you went 4-2. Shelton, you went 4-2 as well. Lou, you went 4-2.
Damn.
Oh, we
And
know
then
this
I think I only had one loss.
Mhm.
There it is.
I was 5-1.
You
Yeah.
knew it.
You know what to wait for. Every time he laughs.
I'm just
I only had
you know what I'm saying? When you
one
when you-
loss.
when you can see shit, bro, I'm sorry.
I
You know what
feel
I'm saying?
you.
I
I
seen
feel
it.
you.
I knew the Giants was gonna win,
I feel
and
you.
we got the dub. I damn near picked Miami to win. I always go low key try to get Miami a dub.
Really?
Nah.
No.
Yeah, Rob, I don't know what happened to Manny. He never came back. I don't know how long he was sitting there though, because I never.
He was in the chat. Oh, I
He
ain't
was
seen
on screen, so I don't know.
He could have texted us. Shit.
He could have. He got my number.
Those are results of that. So moving on to the postseason, as far as the next round, the divisional round, we only got 4 games left. Damn, bro, football about to be over, bro.
That's
We gotta talk
Sad.
about NBA all rest of the season. Boy, talk about
It's gonna heat up.
scoring
It's
hella
gonna
points for losing records.
It's gonna heat up though.
The NBA gonna heat up?
It always does this time, don't it, kid?
Yeah. Around June. That's when it
That's when I give a fuck. Yeah, shit. But last 4 games of the 4 games of the divisional round. We have starting off Saturday. We have 2 Saturday games, 2 Sunday games. Jacksonville at Kansas City.
That's the first Saturday game?
First Saturday game, 4:30 or something like that.
I think that's gonna be a good game.
I do too.
I do.
Question to everybody before y'all pick: does Jacksonville have a shot? Any shot
Yes.
They do.
at beating the Chiefs on the road?
They do.
Yes.
They have a shot.
Percentage wise, you got a percentage, or they just got a
I
shot?
think they got it.
They got
It's
a
gonna be
shot.
close. It's gonna be a
It's
good
gonna be
game.
closer than we think. Put it
Because
that
we
way.
know how Kansas City plays.
Yeah,
though.
I think we're all in consensus that the Chiefs are gonna win this game.
Yes.
But it's not gonna be one of those blowouts. It's not. That thing's gonna come
Is
down
it
to the
crazy to think that I think the Chiefs gonna throw 40 on them?
It'll be if it's 40-37.
No, I think it's gonna be 40-24.
It's not gonna be that.
It's
gonna be close.
If
Because
it's that,
to me-
they would get those 40 late.
Because to me, it's like I've seen the Chiefs throw up 40 on the 49ers, which we all believe is, and that's with McCaffrey and stuff too. But that was with Jimmy G, I think, playing at QB. So that may be a different team now. But if the defense ain't different, I don't think Jacksonville is anywhere near defensively what that team is, and I've seen them put 40 on that team. So I think they could easily put 40 on Jacksonville, especially at home.
Kansas City starts notoriously slow in the playoffs. We know it's from them being down, having to come back. And they play.
I didn't say how this. I said the end of the game will be 40-24.
I think it'll be a better game than that. If it's 40-24, I think that happens late, like on a late score.
All right, but we all picking the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
And we seen like in like I said, you're right about that part, but at the same time, which I forgot about, I was trying to see what they did in that Texans game. Overtime game, that same Chiefs team only put up 20 on the Titans. So it can happen to where a team steps up when it needs to. And I'm not saying that they ain't gonna put up no points because it's the Chiefs. They always have an opportunity to do what they do. But I just don't think it's gonna be a blowout.
You got Kansas City too, Karen?
I do. I don't. Yeah, I'm going with Black.
Who Black?
After that, the game that ends the Saturday game, I believe, is the Giants at Eagles. New York and Philly.
Fly Eagles fly.
Let me ask you something, Shelton. Which QB has more pressure to win this game, to win this upcoming weekend?
Out
Josh
of the
Allen,
whole playoffs?
Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts. More is expected of Jalen than Josh.
What? By you?
No, by everybody.
Jalen Hurts?
He's in the contract year too. If he loses this game, all the season is for naught, right?
He already proved himself this season for what Philly needs. I think he ain't. Somebody who don't believe in him. Yeah, I expect him to lose this game.
No, a lot of people. That's what I'm saying. So if he loses it,
right, what I've been saying all season.
That's what I'm saying. Then it proves like, whoa.
But I don't think the Philly would think that way. I think the Philly would look at it like he got us through this season, MVP season. We lost first round of playoffs, man, but we're going to come back next year. And Jalen Hurts is going to be bigger. And
so it's a guarantee.
But it's still pressure because who's expected more of?
I think that he's already played out. Like he playing with house money now.
No.
Josh Allen, people are expecting.
You don't think Jalen Hurts is going to get re-signed?
Josh Allen, people are expecting to win a Super Bowl.
About who's going to get re-signed, I think he'll get re-signed.
Okay.
We talking about pressure as far as who's expected to win.
You said career, like you said his career is still on the line. I thought you meant like
no, not that. What I'm saying is everybody's expecting them to be a Super Bowl team. This is the expectations for the Eagles.
No. People weren't even expecting them to be good this year.
But
they were.
But they were expecting them to be good. But even now, when you talk about Super Bowl predictions, most people have had Eagles up there all this time. All you think is Eagles.
Right.
Nobody thought the Giants would even be here.
No,
so they playing with house money.
Josh Allen.
Oh, he said Josh
between
Allen.
the two,
Allen
between
and
Josh
Jalen
Allen
Hurts.
and
Oh,
Jalen
I'm
Hurts.
sorry.
Yeah,
Who
that's
has
what
more?
I'm so sorry.
Who has more pressure?
I'm thinking this game, Daniel Jones.
No.
I was. I
This is
wasn't
the
even
questions in
listening.
between the picks.
So then I take all that back. It's
Okay.
Josh Allen. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Daniel Jones.
No.
Man, you oughta forgive me.
Yeah, Josh
Come on,
Allen got the most
You said
pressure.
Josh Allen.
Yeah,
has
Josh
more
Allen,
pressure.
100%.
Even though to Sheldon's point that they expect the Eagles to at least be in the NFC title game, let alone the Super Bowl.
I think Jalen Hurts has proved himself this season, not to me, but to the rest of the NFL world, the media. Like, he can go out there and anything short of having a playoff game like he did last year, people will be like, oh, okay, we didn't know that you could do all that you did. We didn't know that you could put up an MVP campaign. You lost, unfortunately, in the playoffs. Come back next year and give it your best shot. With Josh Allen, like, he's the white messiah, dude. They expected him to put Buffalo on his back and float to the Super Bowl.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I say I'm sorry about that, because I really, in my mind, I heard Daniel Jones before you even finished the question. But Josh Allen, all we think about is the 11 seconds. We don't think about nothing else. Everybody says he would have won that game. So all you thinking about is him taking that next step. This whole year was about the Bills taking that next step and being in the Super Bowl. So in that case, it's Josh Allen. If you're talking about those two.
Who y'all got to win? The Eagles-Giants game.
Oh, it's Eagles all day long.
Eagles for me, going black.
Give me the Eagles.
Wow. You fucking traitor.
He ain't like saying it. Who you picking?
Nigga, you already know, bro. I'm going with Brian.
You picking with your
Daboll.
heart, not your head, huh?
I'm picking the better coach.
Oh, okay.
Do you think it'll be close?
So even though he's been beaten by Nick Sirianni twice, he's the better coach?
I think the coach of the year is the better coach.
Even though he got beat twice by the same guy.
Oh, that's regular season.
Oh,
They're both in the playoffs now. What we always say, it's a new season when the playoffs start, right?
I feel you.
All right. You ain't even expect the Giants to be there, so yeah.
I didn't.
So I'm not surprised by you. I'm surprised by him, but I'm not surprised by you.
Y'all think it's a close game?
It has to be a close game for the Giants to win. So I think it will be
24-20.
27-24.
I'm thinking 24-20.
Ain't gonna be close.
I think it's gonna come down to like a Graham Gano field goal.
Yeah.
Who you got, Ken? You said Philly?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Moving on. The Sunday game. First Sunday game. We got the Cincinnati Bengals at Buffalo, New York.
Well, they try to say push the Cowboys game just to the very last.
Yeah.
It helped because they needed to, but they gave them a Monday night game. They gave the 49ers, 9 days of rest?
That's a huge game.
At home?
Both these games are huge, though. Both these.
But that's kind of unfair to the way that they did that schedule.
And the Niners got a big franchise too.
Yeah.
So I mean, and then Cowboys, huge franchise.
Well,
And then
yeah.
Brady, bro, on Monday. Come on,
You
gonna watch
probably broke some records.
Yeah,
You're
they
right.
ate.
Yeah, you can watch Cowboys game whether you want them to win or lose. You don't want to see that.
So who y'all got as far as
These are two tough picks right here.
the Bengals versus the Bills? And while y'all thinking about that, what else did I have? Which rematch would you rather see, Lou? If we going down the line,
Mhm.
Burrow versus Mahomes or Mahomes versus Allen?
Dang, that's a good one.
Ooh.
That's a good question.
Mahomes versus Allen. I want to see that again.
Part 3?
I seen Burrow beat Mahomes, so I wouldn't be. It's no shock factor there anymore for me. And
The only shock would be if Mahomes won. That's what shock factor.
No, I know Mahomes is good, and it wouldn't shock me.
I've never seen Mahomes beat Burrow, so that would be shocking. If
I want to see the Mahomes and Allen square off again.
Really, you need to see that 3 times. Do we need to see that 3 times, Ken?
Yeah. I need to see that again.
I'm with you, Nick.
We saw it in the AFC title game. We saw it in the divisional playoff. Like,
Nick,
how many times we got to see
wanna
the same
see that
shit?
again.
Nick, I'm with Nick for the simple fact that, like you said, we need to see.
I want to see if
can beat
Mahomes
Burrow.
can. Yeah, if Burrow is undefeated not only in the regular season and in the playoffs 2 years in a row against Patty, that's a whole. We talking about a whole new NFL, bro.
I want to see that.
We talking about a whole
Y'all
new
convinced me.
NFL.
I changed my.
Yeah, just for that reason.
That's my reason.
I forgot
that
that he hadn't beat him. I forgot that he hadn't.
Yeah,
beat
like
I thought that it was like a tie even. And
no.
yeah, okay, I would like to see that. Good point.
So who y'all got?
Give me Cincinnati.
I'm going Cincy.
What you want, son? Why you giggling, nigga? You say what you want, bro. Hey,
Because, man, I told you
over here tickled and shit.
I'm laughing at myself because I'm like, this was hard, man. These are the hardest 2 picks ever. These 2 right here. Well, this one. Put it that way. Give me Buffalo. White man luck.
They both white. I was hoping you would say Buffalo. I was like, bro, if we all went Cincinnati, they losing and getting blown out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that. Well, he's a little more white.
Last game of the
Who you pick? You pick.
I picked Cincinnati.
last game of the weekend, we have the Dallas Cowboys going against the San Francisco 49ers in San Francisco. Does Dallas have any shot at beating the 49ers on the road?
Shot?
Yes.
Yes, it's gonna be a close game. Give me Dallas.
What's the close game?
28-24. Or 31-24, somewhere in there.
I got 31-24 too in my head. I think Dallas has to score 30 to even win this game.
Yeah, that's why I went up to 30.
Because they have to make it. They have to make it seem like Brock Purdy. Like you got to put points.
If we score 30, then they may have a problem keeping up with that. But the problem is scoring 30 on that defense.
Yeah, exactly. I got Dallas, obviously. If Dak loses this game, I'm done with him. Y'all ain't gonna never hear me say shit. Y'all ain't gonna hear me say
last week.
I'm saying it until the I said the NFC title game.
He should get 2 more games after that. He played a perfect game.
I said the NFC title game, bro. I told you. I came on here hollering. I said, bro, Dak Prescott out of Tom Brady is the most qualified, the best quarterback in the NFC playoffs. And now that he took out Brady, he is the best quarterback in the NFC playoffs right now. He has to get to the NFC title game. No question.
You said that.
If he don't, I'm done with him. I'll enjoy the memories of him being Brady, of course, but I'm done with him.
And this was hard because of that reason. We don't know which Cowboys team gonna show up.
You already know what Cowboys team gonna show up. Dak gonna show up. He gonna throw a pick.
Give me a
he gonna throw a pick 6 and they still gonna win. I'll tell you that right now.
Give me the Niners.
Who you got, Ken? You going with Purdy?
I'm going black.
So you're going with D'Amico Ryans?
That, bro. Damn, man. My man, Glock, bro. Glock Purdy. I want to pick him so bad, man. I fuck with Purdy, bro.
Everything about the 49ers seems like they're destined to be one of those teams that just makes a run.
It feels like
however, bro, he is a rookie. And the last pick in the draft, that gotta mean something. Something gonna show up in that game where it be like, all right, bro, we fucked up.
And that's what I'm kind of thinking with that defense. I'm thinking with the way that he was running for his life and got happy feet against the Seahawks, man. I don't know if he ever been chased by a black man before, but when Parks is coming around that corner,
that's a different level.
They got some other guys.
I know they got some other guys.
I think this game is Dan Quinn's game. Like, of course, he already got the coaching opportunities, but this is where he really solidifies himself as I want him hired as my head coach based on the scheme that he puts in for Purdy. Because he ought to be able to put something together with what he got to make Purdy look like a rookie. Because ain't nobody done that.
Yeah, I mean, they kept calling him out on the Manning cast, but they were like he was running junk defenses against Tampa because Brady's seen every damn thing. So they were just throwing some shit out there they ain't seen before, making them to get confused. This is a fucking rookie. They ain't seen shit. So, the
only good thing I give him is that he's the Dallas pass rush is going against a way better offensive line than San Fran. You know what I'm saying? They still got Trent Williams and all the motherfuckers on that side. So I don't think the pass rush will get as loose as it did in Tampa, but somebody's getting to that motherfucker. He gonna get sacked at least 2-3 times.
And vice versa. That's my fear for Dallas's line because you got to deal with that San Francisco pressure.
Which is why
those corners are tough.
Which is why I hope they change the game plan up and lean heavily on the run game.
That's not gonna happen.
They have to. I know they haven't been running the ball that well, but to neutrify a pass rush, you got to run at them.
Yeah.
So right now they got the 2 best backs in the NFC left.
Who?
Dallas.
Who?
Not Miles Sanders. He ain't on that team.
I said 2 best backs. Zeke and Pollard as a combo back.
Hey, we ain't even got to talk about it. They ain't gonna be the two best backs on the field.
Who?
Yeah,
Who's better than them?
Man, stop.
McCaffrey
And who
and
else?
Mitchell.
McCaffrey is.
Oh, you said
And you talking about as a
Mitchell?
duo?
You talking about Elijah Mitchell?
You talking about as a duo?
You saying yes?
Yeah, they got some good
You're saying Christian McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell
Are better
is better
than-
than Zeke Elliott and
Yes.
Tony Pollard.
Yes, sir.
You agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because
You got to.
Spell Elijah's name first. name.
McCaffrey better than both.
Yeah,
of them.
you know-
Yeah, McCaffrey by himself. That's
McCaffrey, like head
that's
and
what I'm
shoulders
saying.
better
And
than
Mitchell
him.
gonna be
You're
more
only
solid.
going off of McCaffrey. You're not going off of Elijah
yes, you
Mitchell.
can. Mitchell.
But if I throw Mitchell in with McCaffrey,
yeah, you get Mitchell's pushing that rock harder than Zeke. Zeke ain't doing nothing. And Mitchell, he's
Y'all
gonna
about
get
to
you
make
about
me
4 or
holler.
5 yards of carry.
Zeke about to have the game of his career. You
Hey,
see,
I
you
hope
see
so.
what
He
Dak
gonna have
had.
to.
You see
I
what
hope
Dak
so.
had last week.
He gonna have to.
Zeke may
If
have
Zeke come out go for
Zeke may have
180.
100 yards and a tutty,
He need 180.
and Tony Pollard
gonna
gonna
have
follow
to.
up with
Zeke-
75 yards and a tutty.
Zeke ain't seen 100 yards in years.
This is gonna be his game.
He had 100 this year.
He had a 100-yard game.
Yeah, he gonna
Zeke
be his
did.
game.
Which one?
One or two.
He gonna have a game
Zeke
like
didn't
that.
have no 100-yard game
I
because
think he did.
Pollard had
one,
some.
yeah.
But-
Zeke had one at least. I'm
Look and
pretty
see. I
sure.
don't think Zeke had no 100-yard
Niners on
game
a
this year.
10-game winning streak, bro.
Yeah,
This is
Niners got a longest win streak.
fucking crazy. Damn, they gonna beat Dallas, bro.
I don't know because they went toe to toe with a nigga named Stidham, and he threw up
You're
hell
right.
on him.
92 was the highest.
He ain't had no 100-yard rushing
He's
game.
gonna have 100
Yeah,
yards.
876 for the
He's gonna have 100 yards this
What
upcoming
was his
week.
yards per carry?
3.8.
Now look up Elijah Mitchell's.
How many
Now he
carries?
didn't play. He
I'm about
didn't
to say
play
he
that
ain't
many
play that
games.
much. I don't
I
even
just
worry
want to know
about
his
that.
yards per carry though.
You want everybody to know that. It ain't just you, nigga.
No,
So
just
you
me.
bring it up
Just
for a
me.
reason.
Just me.
All right. So those are the picks. We locked in, y'all.
I am not confident at all in the.
I know that Niners pick, man. I'm really just betting on Black, bro.
Right.
All honesty.
I'm excited to see both those games.
Right.
So I really am.
This is probably the
excited.
best wild card week or a
Yeah, this the
divisional
best
round.
Football round.
Rock-
Probably in a
Rock
minute.
got
If
some
you
shit.
take out the Kansas City Jacksonville game, there's no shitty game.
Why you gotta take that one now?
Because that's a blowout. Everybody know that's a
I
blowout.
don't know.
I'm
Trevor
telling you,
might
Don't
say
say
I
I
don't
don't know,
man.
kid.
I'm
Don't
telling
say
you.
don't
Trevor
do
might
this.
surprise you, man.
Don't do this.
Tell you, Sunshine coming here with a victory in the AFC
I
Championship
can't-
next week.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, Andy Reid.
He ain't rushing for like under 300 yards. He did 6.2 yard average.
Andy Reid is, bruh, that motherfucker is excited for this game.
I don't
He can
know,
pull out all the
man.
little tricks and shit. I guarantee they talking about
Doug
Patty gonna
Peterson
throw a
done beat
behind the
him
back
before.
pass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Doug Peterson is a hell of a coach,
Doug
bro.
Peterson
Yeah.
right there with
He
you.
can
know
get
what I'm
him.
saying?
He got,
Lovey almost got it.
he got a
So I
title
know
too.
Doug Peterson
Yeah.
can get
It's
it.
not
said
act
what?
like-
Lovey almost got it.
Doug Peterson won a title in Philly.
yeah,
Those
he got a
bombs.
ring, both Super Bowl winning,
Yep.
and he beat Brady.
He did what Andy couldn't do in Philly.
Mm.
Hmm.
All right, let
You
me
talking
read these.
hella shit about Andy Reid, boy.
All right, let me read these super chats. We can get out of here. Devontae, how sad is it to see Braun playing so well at the end of his career and it being meaningless? One of the GOATs, not in title contention and not his fault. Yeah, we kind of talked about
Ain't
Same
that.
thing happened to
that what
Kobe.
happened to MJ, right?
Yeah,
MJ was balling.
MJ, Kobe.
Man, they
Wizards.
said that they're gonna do a documentary on him in the Washington Wizards.
I'd like to see
They
that.
I
should
would too.
I
should.
want to see that.
with the Hitler mustache. They
Yeah.
should.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mike Seagap, what percentage of the NFL athletes do you think use PEDs this year? And do you think the NFL has covered up positive test results for their stars?
Some of your star players use PEDs.
I agree with that.
At
too.
least 85.
Kyle was calling out JJ Watt for his whole career.
Yeah, he did. Kyle never let
And
up.
the way he said he broke down, the way JJ Watt, he said it matches up.
Kyle knows some shit.
Yeah, he do.
That's
we
what
already know a steroid boy in the league.
Who?
Hopkins.
Man, don't do D Hop like that.
I'm just saying, bro.
Yeah, they probably.
Once you do PEDs and we find out,
Look how
bro,
skinny D Hop is, man.
He didn't do it effectively.
I think a lot
That's
of
what
them are. And I think the
He gonna straighten his
NFL
hands. He got big old hands.
NFL ain't got no incentive to cover it up. They don't want no baseball scandal. So like
Mhm.
even if it's happening, yeah. And we don't care. Like we care. So I think it's happening, yes.
Drink more water. Shout out Sauce for being first team all pro.
shout
He
out.
had a
Hey,
great season.
Cincinnati coming out. What?
He had a great season.
Desmond Ritter about to if
Ritter
they don't
played
do the
well,
Lamar
too.
trade, he gonna win that division next year.
That ain't saying much.
Mr. B. Trevor having the fortitude to bounce back is very impressive. If Nick decides he doesn't like a player, he would never give them props.
You're right.
I gave props. 100%,
Mr.
I gave
Mr.
props to Justin Herbert. I picked them to win that
And
game.
then he tore him right apart.
Hey, when you lose like that,
to get in here and shit on.
when you lose like that, nah, I couldn't wait to talk about. I'm always about positivity. I came here to talk about the black man. I came to toast to Dak Prescott for doing what we're supposed to do, and proving me right.
Cigar like his team won the championship when they was
For real.
like both y'all had bad hands. I hate both y'all.
Right.
They was both shitty.
That was the best possible scenario for Nick.
It was because it proved they both shitty.
Pat, the Don can acknowledge Philly. I picked them to win. I don't know what I need to acknowledge, bro. Shit, you better hope they win.
What we
Hey, don't show up.
You
I'm gonna be here.
they win.
Hey, I'm
So-
gonna be here. I ain't.
If they lose even by a point,
I'm
even by
proud
a
of
penny,
them. I'm proud of them.
I'm hollering, bro.
They've already exceeded.
I'm
your,
hollering,
They've
bro.
already
They're
exceeded
already-
your
I'm already.
expectations.
No, he
I'm
already. He
proud
hedged
of
the
him.
last 3 weeks. You
I'm
didn't realize
proud
that.
of him.
I've been calling him out every since. Y'all like, bro, don't
What?
do that. Don't do that.
Jalen
He been
Hurts
trying to
might
say-
not
he's
be all
been
right.
saying Jalen Hurts been hurt for a while.
I'm proud of them. Stop.
Yep.
The number one
Like,
seed,
he
bro.
not.
I don't care, bro. It's the number one
already
seed
read
at
that.
home.
Well,
you did all that shit for nothing.
Nick, I'm sure you like this, but I put this on the screen already. But yeah, Rob got the Giants going to the Super Bowl. All right.
I don't need that. We need.
Vibes and stuff.
Yeah.
Josh Allen will make 5 incredible throws in the game and 5 dumbass throws in the
100%.
game.
Yes.
He's 2 turnover prone that he will cost the Bills down the stretch.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that may happen.
You can't do that in Kansas City.
No.
and I
You
doubt
can't
you
do
can
that
do
in
away with
Cincinnati.
You
Cincinnati.
can't do it in Cincinnati.
Yeah,
Chief.
Get to Kansas City.
Miyagi. Brady lost his family to go 8-9 and be the worst QB in the first round this year. His pride won't let him go out this sad. Just like Michael Myers, he'll be back. Big ups, Dallas. Dak balled out. Y'all see Ed Reed's rant
Oh wow.
on DC?
I heard y'all got posted about it. I was surprised that Reed would say some shit.
He
like
think
that.
he fucking Dion, bro. Dion
He took a page out of Dion book.
yeah.
Just didn't way less tact.
The only thing about that though is based off the area that I met and have watched all this time. That ain't really his character.
I
don't think
never.
he was trying
That's
to
why
be
I was
Dion.
surprised.
I just think he got pissed. He ain't even really no social media guy like that
Then why go to social media?
Right.
because he was pissed.
About the offense, maybe I get that, but then he came back and was like, "Yeah, man, these motherfuckers got to get it right. I done did more for these motherfuckers than they did than the people here for the last 50 years or whatever he said. That's some bullshit.
Yeah, you
bro.
don't do that.
You don't say
Yeah,
that about.
no, he
our-
was wrong.
That's,
No, he
that's
was
my
dead
thing.
wrong.
Is like, bro, we need to have more decorum when it comes to what we say about us in house and outside.
because
I
you
agree
can't
with
take
You
it
can't
back.
be going on
Yeah.
social media doing that shit. That's why I'm
Yeah.
glad. What's his name? From Tennessee State.
Eddie
Yeah,
George.
Eddie George came out and that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some shit fucked up, but here's how we can get better. Here's how we can make it sustainable.
Correct.
Yeah,
like,
I think,
come on.
I agree
bro.
100%.
I
Just
think Ed
calling
Reed-
shit out. Anybody
he
can
was
call-
trying to take a page out the Dion book and kind of be like, make a splash, but he didn't
Yeah.
articulate it right at all. Like, come on, bro.
But you can tell he don't use social
Nah,
media.
he
He was
don't
like,
do none of that shit.
that's why I don't be on social
I ain't
network.
used to none of this
I
shit.
was like, what?
He said network.
Somebody, yeah, somebody said they need some media people, man.
Yeah,
Like
100%. That's
going
the
even
first-
back to your boy that was
That's
standing
what-
in front of the Bentley.
But that's how you know.
What's the nigga name?
That's how you know. I heard that I had to rewind.
Oh yeah, Lou brought up the point of the Hugh Jackson shit.
Yeah,
Y'all
like
seen
even
it?
when
Oh,
Hugh
wow,
Jackson,
yeah.
that was cringe. He's standing in front of the Bentley, like throwing money. Like, bro, what are y'all doing? They just looking bad on social media. They need some media people like helping
Yeah.
them out, man. Because
And unlike the 80s, you can't take it back.
Nah,
Once
it's
it's
gonna be out
there,
there
once
forever,
it's out
bro.
there, it's out there.
Josh Bro, sorry I've been absent. Y'all been moving across country. I know no one cares right now, but who should my Jets go after at QB next year?
Tom Brady.
I don't think that would be.
Is
bad.
Aaron, why do we really just gloss over Aaron Rodgers?
I think Aaron Rodgers.
I wonder where Josh Bros was.
I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna retire.
You don't think it's based off his situation? That's why he acted the way he acted?
I think Tom Brady has made us feel like that playing till that old is gonna be the new norm, and it's not. He can do that. I don't think Aaron Rodgers can do that.
I don't think
Rodgers-
mentally Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he
can't
ain't
do that.
built
That's
like
where
that.
that's where
Tom Brady
he
different,
breaks down.
man. Yeah,
As far as the Jets go, Josh Bros, and that's cool, man. Where'd you move to first off? Because I wonder where Josh Bros been, but I think that they should go after Derek Carr, somebody like that.
He doesn't
Get
need
Geno.
a lot, bro.
Shout out to Josh Bros, man. Move across country, tough, man.
That is tough. Josh Bros. Oh, he live in
He's Australian, yeah.
So yeah.
One more from him.
Moving dope, like drug meal.
Yeah.
He said Lamar to the Jets. We got everything he needs.
I wouldn't mind that either.
I don't know if Baltimore gives a trade
New York
like
City,
that.
Lamar.
Yeah, Baltimore might not do it, but him and with the Jets would be nice. Those receivers ain't bad.
No, they not.
No, they ain't paying nobody on the Jets. That's the thing.
Brees coming back.
They ain't paying nobody, so we'll see.
Josh Rose again. Todd Bowles is a horrible coach. He installs no life into his teams, and he's conservative to a fault. Was terrible with the Jets, and this year too. The thing about it is, I used to defend the brother.
I did too with the Jets.
Oh man,
I was capping hard with the Jets. Like, come on, man,
bro. Me and you both.
Yeah,
I was on Manny's show, just going in, just defending. That's before.
Sorry, Manny.
Yeah, I should have known then. Manny was on MAGA. He was going there. I had to go in there and defend all the black folks, bro. It was bad.
Yeah. Hey, Manny put some pressure on.
Yeah, bro. He was calling out Tomlin when Tomlin was winning, bro. I had to go set the record straight.
Yeah, Washington that got you soft out there, man.
That's funny.
Last one. Drink more water. What realistic age can LeBron play to? I think 43.
45.
How old is LeBron?
How old is
30, 39.
LeBron can play. He's gonna play till Bronny gets there.
Maybe 3 years. At 3 years, right? Bronny got 3
Bronny,
years.
Bronny, because Bronny
That's
being a freshman next year.
That's it. 3 years.
Yeah.
Yep. And
because that hurt his feelings last night when Buddy told him, "Man, you playing against my dad."
Yeah.
He had to go put them 48 up. He was mad about it.
He was talking hella shit too against the Rockets. Like, come on, bro, chill out.
He said, "Why you do that to me, man? Why you do that to me?"
Fucking laptop went out of power.
Oh, wait, how many super chats?
There was 2 more left by Ghost something.
Oh, I see. Well, Drink More Water said John Morant got a random drug test for the 7th time this season. Do you guys think the NBA will ever have ever given LeBron a drug test? It's an honest question.
Absolutely.
Probably.
Yeah.
And Ghostman 231 says, what's y'all steal of the draft for your team so far? It's me, Pacheco. For me, 850 yards without starting.
That's pretty good, and they like him. They think that's a steal. So
for the Chiefs.
Yeah, he may get full-time work next year.
Tyler Smith been playing great on the line for the Cowboys. He's subbing in different positions. He was filling in for Tyron Smith when he was out. So Tyler Smith, we weren't sure if that was going to be a good pick because of the penalties in college, but he's done his thing on the line for the Cowboys.
Still the draft. I'll probably say it's one of the DBs between. I won't say probably Dax Hill, even though I think Dax Hill will be good, but I think Cameron Brate, the corner, number 29 for the Cincinnati Bengals, he was like a 5th round pick or some shit like that, and now he's starting, and I think he's holding his own for good so far. So we'll see this upcoming round because he's going to either have to face Glenn Davis or Diggs. So that secondary is going to be tested.
Jordan Davis for the Eagles. He's a run stopper. He's not really a steal because he was picked in the first round.
It was the first pick in
the round. But it was tough to crack that lineup, and he's going to end up being a really strong player. What's the linebacker name from Georgia? He's number 17 with the Eagles, but he Dean.
Yeah, Nakobe Dean.
Nakobe Dean is actually going to be the steal of the draft because he was drafted in the mid rounds, and he's not getting to play much for the Eagles. But in that one game he played, like they let him play. Somebody got hurt. I can't remember who else got hurt that he came in for, but he had like 6 tackles in that game in a half a play. So Nakobe Dean is my pick. I'm sorry.
Okay, I think that was the last one. Yeah, so FIFO should be back next week, so we'll have a full staff here, and we'll be going over the results of next week. So
we'll be
enjoy football.
We'll see the championship games, and I guess make our final Super Bowl predictions. See who was right, who was wrong.
Yep.
It seemed like most of us all right. We only got one team left: Kansas City and Buffalo's still in there.
Mm-hmm.
FIFO had Buffalo and 49ers, so he may get his.
Yeah. Should I picked Green Bay. So
I think you picked Green Bay and Baltimore or something like that.
Damn. Yeah. So
both of mine bowed out last week.
that was rough.
I had Green Bay. I wanted to stay Farm Bowl. I wanted Green Bay and Kansas City.
he's still in the playoffs. He all over them commercials.
That's it.
So we'll catch you guys next week. We out. Peace.
You wanna be where you can see.